And now on Who's Views, it's time to join JT, Paul, and Third Doctor Ian for the latest headlines.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Who's Views. It's Friday, and it's the 30th, believe it or not, of May 2025. How are you all? Great to see you. Yes, it's your big show. It's headlines. Kicking off the weekend with style. And what a weekend it's going to be, because have you heard? Yes, of course you have heard. We are finally there, everybody. The 8th and final episode of Doctor Who, RTD2 Who, Disney Who, Rubbish Who, whatever you want to call it, is tomorrow, with the reality war heading to BBC One, cinema screens and Disney Plus at 18:50 our time here in the UK. It's all on the way. We're going to be looking a little bit more about that later on here in the show. And I know you're going to have lots of stuff to say about it as well, because I don't know about you. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. I'm exhausted, and I am absolutely delighted we're at the end of this nonsense. I really am. Yeah, so lots of that coming up. We're also going to be looking at some other bits and pieces, including, you know, we're going to be making wishes again, because we're not finished with that one. But who knows what RTD has got in store for us tomorrow. There are lots of rumours going around, and I'm sure these two have heard about the rumours as well. Haven't you, Third Doctor Ian and Paul?
Yes, I've heard a few rumours myself, yes. Yeah. Oh, but Doctor Who, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on out there in the world right now, isn't there, everybody? So, you know, it's I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Listen, as usual, I'd like to start the show with saying a huge thank you to everybody that's been getting in touch this week. As ever, if you want to get in touch with us, you can. The email address is whosviews1@gmail.com. whosviews1@gmail.com. Please get in touch. Guess what, guys? I've actually started replying to people today.
Oh, lovely.
No.
Yes. And some very interesting emails in there as well. So this, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to Poncho Man 49, to Mark Posgate, to C Maples, to Baz 6175, to Happy Werewolf, to Pluto, to Throgmoid, to MW56101, to Ked Droyer, Grant McEwen, Dave Phillip, Digby Strawbridge, to Sea King, to Mark Milford, to Graham Buxton, to Steve Braddock, to Eddie Day Riley, Matthew Turner, and to Claire Robbins. Thank you all for getting in touch this week. Really appreciate that.
Can I say something, JT? I love these people. I love all their handles, but Cadroya is lovely, because that's a Paul McGann audio. Superb.
It is.
I wondered where I'd heard it before, guys.
So we've got a Paul McGann fan in the chat. That's lovely. That's good.
I'm sure there's more than one. Was that one of those alternative universe things that they curtailed very quickly?
I think it was the Divergent Universe thing, and then because the series came back and they stopped it really quickly.
They did, didn't they? Yeah, for some reason, they thought we have to bring him back to our universe now. I don't know why.
For some bizarre reason. I don't know why. Yeah.
Some bizarre reason. I don't know what's going on there. But it's good to see you all in the chat. Fan01 is Ish is with us. Evening Goal. So is Frankie. Frankie's with us there. Saint 194. If I can bring that one up, because again, it's going really quickly now. Here we go. Saint 194. I might email. Can we email anything about Doctor Who related? You can email me about anything, quite frankly. Saint 194. Anything you like.
Are you touching yourself as an agony aunt as well? Is that what's going on?
Some of it's there. Some of it's there. Don't mind. Don't charge. Raymond. Hello, Raymond. How are you, mate? So many long-term fans are dreading the finale. That's so sad, but understandable after last year's Empire of Death. RTT ridiculed Sultek, and it could happen to Omega tomorrow, plus regeneration. Listen, I agree with you. There have been a lot of stuff going on this week where fans really worried about it. But you know what? You got through the timeless children thing.
Yeah.
We're still suffering from that, though. So whiplash from that, definitely. Yeah.
It's left its scars, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
But it's just another one, isn't it? It's just another one to add to an ever-increasing list of stupidity from these
Well,
people.
remember what we did with the half-human thing? We just ignore it. It's fine. That's what we do.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Remember those
Matthew-
days, those crazy heady days when you would look forward to Doctor Who and it would come on, and no matter what the story was like or how naff it might have been in the 80s or whatever, you enjoyed it and you'd talk about it, and it was fun. And now it's just painful, isn't it?
It is. And have you noticed this new room, everyone?
Polite for you, Ian, I have to say.
Yeah. Have you noticed this new room, everyone? Ian's, Third Doctor Ian's new room. That it's getting there, isn't it, everybody?
It's growing. It's like a stop motion animation. It's growing and growing and growing. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Heretic is saying to me, incoming crypto emails. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. And Anthony Parkin saying Whittaker and Gatwa together in the same episode sounds like a world-ending event in one way or another. I'm sure it will be.
Career ending, hopefully.
Frankie, I'm glad you're here as well. Hope you are well. And Legion of James. Now, really, let's see those chests come out and fling in and fling in and fling. 56th birthday to carry on camping. Oh, matron, yes, take them away. Yeah. Yes, happy birthday. Happy 56th birthday to carry on camping 56.
I love the fact they had to use a fishing rod to do that scene, to whip off the brazier. That was interesting. Yeah.
Brilliant, isn't it? Stephen and Jeannie Frith, nice to see you as well. Question is, how much is Omega going to suck? That means something completely different in the United Kingdom than it does in America. If by the rumors,
if it means what it means in the UK, I'm really worried about it. That's all I'm saying. Based on the current iteration of the show, yeah.
Make sure, Stephen, Jeannie Frith, that you come back on Sunday live at 8 o'clock here on the channel as we get into it, as we do our very last Who's Views reviews on Disney Who, RTD2 Who, as I call it, Rubbish Who. That's going to be at 8 o'clock live on the show. Mr. Puzzle, good to see you. The unexploded neutron bomb in the end of the Daleks was what RTD was. Oh, you're very naughty. You really are. Paul Schlafter is saying to us, guys, could it be worse than the Timeless Children? Very probably. Yeah. Easily. Can you imagine? He could do anything, that man, couldn't he? And he has done it. It's all been done ages ago. Josh H is with us saying tomorrow will likely be the last episode from some time. I do not doubt it. What do you two think?
For a very, very long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's broken, not beyond repair, but I think it's broken beyond the skill of anybody that they've got at the moment to fix. I think it needs time for somebody or some new people to come through that are not in any way related to any that have had anything to do with it since 2005.
I mean, I don't want to jump the gun in terms of rumors and stuff, but have you heard the kind of alternate multi-universe thing, a bit like Marvel? That's one of the theories that's come out at the moment. So there'll be different endings and different ways. So if you've seen The Flash, actually, the Flash movie with Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, which is wonderful, and then all those different superheroes, like Adam West was there, and Michael Keaton, and different Batman and Superman in different universes, all that kind of stuff. I think that's what they're going to do with it, which sounds bloody awful. It really does.
I don't think I don't think I was going to say JNT. I don't think RTD is JNT would be skillful enough to do it, but RTD isn't. He'll mess it up. It will be incomprehensible rubbish. I think we know it's going to be.
I can't stand all this influence from other stuff, though. We've said this before. Doctor Who used to lead the way, and now he just goes and watches Marvel and Disney and Star Wars and anything else that he gets, and he brings it into Doctor Who because he's got no imagination of his own at all. He can't do it anymore. He can't write Doctor Who anymore. Stephen Genie are saying to us the half-human thing was nowhere near as bad as The Timeless Child. Neither was the Leakley Bible. At least they had the tendency to be a reboot. Well, it was, wasn't it, with that one? It would have been a massive flop here, though, and it would have been awful with the fan base at the time, because there was no way I was going to sit through a bastardized version of Pyramids of Mars, Genesis of the Daleks, or Tomb of the Cybermen. No chance.
But we have now, just about.
JT, I know where we are with the chats and things, but quite a bit before we had a super chat from Lex.
I'm getting to that. Yeah, I'm trying to scroll it through. Thank you for joining us all. Actually, I'm hoping to get those up through at the moment. We've got Virtual Baz with us as well, saying, "I was wondering, have they replaced the cloister bell with a chirping fire alarm?" And Mark Greaves here. Whittaker and Gat were in the same episode, greeting each other. Babes, babe, hi, babe, hi, babes, hi, babes. Martin Duff is saying to us, worming the cat again tomorrow night instead.
I wish I was.
That seems to be
I'll
more
have to get a cat
entertaining,
faster
guys.
to do it. That's to be fair. But yeah.
The carcass is with us saying that he'll be glad when it's all over. How many of us will be, to be honest? Honestly. Emilio's with us. There he is, everybody, from Time Lord Victorious. Omega to have a body, and he will be a white male. Oh, that's controversial, and it shouldn't be. Simon Mills saying to us, the only thing I'm looking forward to in Doctor Who is what's the next collection box set. Well, hopefully. Hello, Star Whovian. Yes, he sent me a message on X that I couldn't reply to. Yes, it was me. Hello. Nice to see you, mate. Thank you for joining us. We're expecting something when it comes to collection box sets or the Blu-rays anyway. So stay with us because we are expecting something. So there we go. PTA, thank you for your super chat. RTD tries to be too clever for his own smug smile. Cleverness is simplicity, yet clever storytelling such as Blink. At least he got the well right. PTA loved the well. That's probably your favourite of the series, is it, PTA?
Did he didn't write the well, did he? Well, he co-wrote it with another writer, didn't he? Yeah. So he influenced it, but didn't write it completely. So that's why it was better, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't get that super chat from Lex. Do you know what it was, Ian?
It was quite early on. He gave us a super chat for 199, which is lovely of him. And he said, I think they need to regenerate after, I think we need to regenerate after awful Gatwa Who. And we can't argue with that, can we?
No, we can't. We can't. Yeah. Paul Ratton, evening all. It's broken beyond repair for me. It will be worse tomorrow than anything we've seen before. I don't expect any cancellation announcement. It'll just disappear unnoticed. I agree. I think there'll be something for fans. Yeah. I think it will be something for fans. Yeah, I do think there is that. And Paul Schlaufter, because it's the Paul Club obviously here tonight. It really is a sad ending for 20 years of Doctor Who that came back huge and is ending on a whimper. Genuinely never thought it would end like this. RTD should never have come back.
Yeah. And they're celebrating 20 years on Unleashed. There's a special program coming as well.
Yes, we're going to talk about that in just a second because I want to get your feelings on that one, you two. Mark A. Rice is saying, I have a horrible feeling, I have a horrible feeling that it would be made canon that the Doctor never left Omega's domain in the Three Doctors and everything since has been an illusion. Well, that would be daft, wouldn't it?
That would be stupid, yeah.
Wouldn't it, Mark? That would be ridiculous. Can you imagine Terry or Barry? Their faces on that. Or even Bob Baker. Honestly, but as we say, Mark, you might be right.
There are possibilities that Omega's domain is a kind of almost his imagination, his fantasy world. That would explain a lot of things. But taking it straight back to the Three Doctors and wiping everything to that point would be awful, wouldn't it? Really?
Well, it would be stupid. It would be absolute nonsense. And not the reboot way that we need to do it. Dave Harding is telling us John Pertwee's first season finally gets released in North America on Tuesday. That's the Blu-rays, of course. Looking forward to getting to watch some great Doctor Who. Enjoy every minute of it, my friend.
It's superb. You get it. Utterly superb.
Yeah. Absolutely enjoy that. Graham is saying, I'm counting down the days. That's to the next box set. And Heretic, thank you for your super chat. Omega will take his mask off and it'll be Doom. Then Doom will force the Doctor to Albert Square for Dimensions in Time 2 to regenerate into a trans Doctor. Don't give them ideas. I've told
sounds
you
quite good. Compared to last week,
that will be the movie, everybody. Oh, God. Well, thanks for that, Heretic. Oh, my goodness me. Anything's game. Josh H. RTT has said he wanted Doctor Who to be some big name franchise. We needed somebody in who understood the actual show rather than trying to turn it into a British Star Wars and Trek. Well, here. Yeah, here. I'm not going to argue that. What do you guys think of that point?
Well, I think I've said this many times before. I think it has potential to be a massive show, Doctor Who, in the right hands. It's just not been the right hands, you know. But...
No, it's a shame it never aligns, does it? You know, you have the wondrous Letts and Dicks, and you know, to an extent, the later Derek Sherwin stuff, and you've got Robert Holmes with Hinchcliffe and everything, but they're trying to do, and they are doing amazing stories, but on a threadbare budget. And then you get the massive budget, and you've got just incompetent loons. Honestly, it is. If you could have just, you know, if we could have Hinchcliffe and Holmes with this budget, can you imagine the kind of TV we'd be getting with Doctor Who? It would be
incredible.
Yeah. Such a shame.
It is. Such a shame,
it's a missed opportunity. The whole thing, it really has been. You know,
massive. Yeah,
I think we're going to continue saying that, aren't we, in this aftermath as we build up, of course, to the Sea Devils. Ministry of Lies. Good to see you. Do we all think tomorrow is the last ever show?
Could be.
Certainly
I
of
don't
this decade. I'd say.
I don't. Yeah, it's. I think it will be the last ever for now, and I think there is a hiatus coming. But we do know that BBC Studios are very keen to keep it going in the next few years. They don't want to lose it. But yes, I do. I do. We'll soon find out, won't we? And what we got this from Stephen Genie. The BBC apparently have filmed 3 separate endings. The twist is they're all awful. And from Charles Walters, Peter Capaldi wakes up with dream crab on his face, and none of this has ever happened. Now there's a way to get out of it, everybody.
Yeah.
Perfectly. Although we wouldn't get Capaldi back even just to do a regeneration scene because he's done one and that was it. But that would be that's it's all built there, and you could do that, couldn't you?
There's so many things you could do. The possibilities are endless, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, with a format like this show's got, you've got the tools to put it right. The fact that he doesn't want to means that he's happy with it failing, and he'll never be forgotten or forgiven for this. You know, when all the when all the TQIA nut jobs have left the room, which will be about 5 minutes after it finishes, because let's face it, they'll just like locusts, they'll just migrate off to another show to destroy. When it's left, there'll just be us still, but looking at the classic stuff. And
but our Doctor Who is science fiction, and anything can go in science fiction. I don't know what this new one is. After babies were granting wishes and gods and pantheons and all this, it's fantasy now, isn't it? It's fantasy. Jordan C is saying to us, "Look, I'm just tired. I wish they'd just bring back I wished they'd just put Doctor Who back on the shelf like they did in 1989 and never look back." And Raymond, best case scenario, no regeneration or an open-ended regeneration. Worst case scenario, Yasmin Finney. Well, Yasmin Finney is in tomorrow's episode because he is on the cast list. So he is there. But yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to. When it comes to tomorrow, we're going to be looking a bit more about it throughout this show, obviously. But there was some other news this week, and it's just amazing, isn't it, Paul, how this news is getting out at the moment, and they're releasing this stuff because this was the afterthought. Back in March, of course, this version of Doctor Who celebrated quietly its 20th anniversary. We actually did a few programs marking that anniversary, if you remember. March seems like such a long time ago, though, guys. Seems like ages, doesn't it?
That was before the season even started, wasn't it?
Yeah. And that's why it seems a long time ago, because we've got through.
Yeah. It feels like years since we've been watching 8 episodes. That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, because a lot of YouTubers and people on social media were doing certain things to mark the anniversary of the Eccleston series and the show coming back, RTD noticed. And so therefore he decided, oh, okay, we'll do something as well. So again, not realizing. So they're putting together a special edition of Doctor Who Unleashed, which will be out next weekend on BBC Three and the BBC iPlayer. I don't know, because it doesn't say on any of the information whether it's going to be on Disney. So there you go. It might just be on the Blu-ray when you get that, if you're desperate to buy that nonsense. But anyway, there's a lot of people going into this, isn't there? David Tennant's going in there, and Billy Piper's going on this.
Eccleston's not there, though.
Eccleston won't be there, no. But the names this week, of course, that were announced for this thing were Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill, who are coming back to talk about their time on the show. Jodie Whittaker's also in there, you'll all be pleased to know as well.
Good.
Yes.
Woo.
Anyone interested?
So are you saying that RTD saw that other people online were doing things like this and basically he pinched an idea? That's unheard of for him, isn't it?
Yeah, that's so unusual, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Most of his writing, obviously, it's unheard of.
Yeah. Well, he did, because he came out and said it, didn't he? He said he didn't realize that a lot of people would do their own celebrations, because he just thought, it'd be very confusing to do anything so soon after the 60th.
I thought he was a Doctor Who fan. Would he not know? If you were a fan, you would know people would celebrate an anniversary. How could he not know?
But you also think egotistically that'd be the first thing you think about. Let's celebrate my version of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Well, now he's done it, and it's been commissioned, and it's been done as part of this show. As I say, it's going to be next week. If you're interested in looking up,
yeah,
there goes There goes that tumble
So
world
am I.
again.
So am I.
Dr. Rick Douglas, MD, is saying to us the planets will align at some point, and Fan 01-ish. I'm still hearing rumors of a Billy Piper regeneration. It's just silly enough to be true. I suppose it could be one of those alternate universe regenerations if that's where they're going with this. Tony Farrell's TARDIS saying to us, big budget, the triumph of style over substance. Yeah. Grizz, Redford, the Dallas option. That's the dream thing, isn't it? And Jamie Tipton. I won't be watching, but all will be over with this current crap by tomorrow. So I hope all these rumors are true. If not, I'll be very disappointed.
I think either way, we're going to be disappointed, I think, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Totally. Hello, Mark O'Neill. The humanoid Silurian SC Devils are a bad decision too. That looks awful, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It looks awful. But guess what, Mark? We're going to be reviewing it. We're going to be looking at that when it happens. Don't forget, there's a trailer for the Sea Devil thing after the episode broadcasts tomorrow on BBC One at 18:50. Also at the cinema at the same time here in the UK, selected cinemas, and on Disney Plus at the same time out of the UK. It's 1 hour 6 minutes. The episode.
Oh God. Yeah. Only thing I'm intrigued about is seeing the trailer for the Sea Devils thing, because I want to see how badly they've done the Sea Devils. I really do. You know?
I think it's quite bad.
Yeah, I think it's awful. Yeah. From the little snippets we've seen, yeah.
If Wishworld is set on the 23rd of May, where is the Belinda from Robot Revolution? Said Inspector number 23. Well, I thought it was she left on the 23rd, didn't she? She had to get back for the 24th for whatever reason, and that's the date he couldn't get back to. Is that right?
Oh God, I don't remember.
I think so. Yeah. Maybe if he introduces her to herself before she left and she actually makes physical contact, she'll explode in a puff of energy and cancel herself out.
You mean he's ripping off Modern Undead? Not another plagiarized episode, surely not.
Of course he is.
Bring back the Blinovich limitation effect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And use it.
Yes, exactly. Constantly.
Extreme prejudice.
Starhoovian is saying to us, the problem with this era is that it seems everyone isn't enjoying it anymore. Even the Chibnall era fans seem to have hated it. I still stand by the fact, Starhoovian, that I didn't watch it, as you know, but I was noticing that the fans that were watching the Jodie Whittaker era and loving every minute of it were weird girls, just weird girls who were watching it just for her to make a point, I think, because nothing was ever wrong with it. And then they've gone, they've left. Let's face it, they went as soon as a black man was cast as well. That's me stirring it there. Julianne is with us saying, there's only classic Who in my world. RTD can go underverse himself. Yeah, see what you did there. Tony Farrell's TARDIS saying, JT says he doesn't know what Doctor Who has become. How about RuPaul's Drag Race in Space?
That's near enough. Yeah.
It is near enough, isn't it? It is near enough because, drag queens in Doctor Who would have thought it?
That would be class, though. You could allow that, couldn't you? Let's be honest.
You see, they got there before with Hartnell. Everything, nothing new. Oh, it's great to see you all. Thank you for joining us for this edition. It's your Friday Big Show. A lot of you are celebrating the fact that Yasmin Finney's back in Doctor Who. Not tomorrow. And our John is saying the special edition of Unleashed sounds like a complete mess. Everyone would be expected to sing RTD's praises. And considering that they all come from several different eras, I wonder if I would imagine they would, wouldn't they? Or if it hadn't been for Russell. What do you think?
It'd be wonderful if Karen Gillan says so, because she's Scottish, obviously, says, yeah, it was good when we were in it, it's crap now. That'd be quite fun.
Yeah.
I wonder
I wonder if what's his name, Gatwa, I couldn't even remember his name there for a minute, will be in it. Because this was all filmed recently, everybody. It wasn't filmed at the time he was in contract. It's all been done recently. They're still working on it now, and it drops next week.
Wow.
He won't tell us he's been fired, though, will he? That's a shame,
I reckon.
I'll do the Eccleston thing. I've done the long haul.
I've done the long haul.
Kind of thing that he did. Remember that?
Well, we're going to be looking at it next week, I think, because I think there's going to be a lot of fallout after tomorrow. We'll be here on Sunday, and then we'll be here whenever next week we can. So stay with us. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you for all our new subscribers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's great to see all of you subscribing. If you have subscribed to the channel, please make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. Okay? Thank you so much. The Carcass. Are you planning a special for the Unleashed 20th anniversary special? No.
I think that's a no.
We'd have to watch it, wouldn't we?
We'd have to watch it and then look. I mean, if enough of you ask
Paul
me
watches
for it,
all the Unleashed about 5 times each, doesn't boost the ratings.
Yeah, but just understand the story, and I've told you that already because I'm really slow, you know.
You and me both, mate.
Yeah.
PTA saying RTD has said he's going to explain biogeneration. Gosh, wow, amazing yawn. We're going to come to that in a second, PTA. And Smiling, hello to you. I'm confused regarding Series 3. I do a bit of extra work and got asked to do an extra role for Doctor Who a couple of months ago. Doesn't mean it's the TV show. Could be Bog Fanish. Could be one of these drama things, that one of these things here. I don't know, Smiling. You'd have to find out and let us know, but could be anything at all. Yeah, because we know that it's not in production right now. And Time of Victorious, Emilio's with us. The only people watching that pile of crap would be Greta Thunberg and the Eco Warriors for our lovely electrons saving the planet.
And all the ones wanting to scream and beat their chests about toxic masculinity, toxic white masculinity, obviously, because you know they'll never say that Ncuti's toxic, even though he is. They'll never say he's masculine because he sure as hell isn't. But it'll definitely be toxic white masculinity, won't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Toxic campery, I think that's the best way to describe it. Yeah.
It's being noticed though by the BBC themselves. Stay with us because I'm going to get the details of it, and we're going to be talking about something in the future headlines. Michael Hallett, I'm scared that if they all do finally go. I'm sorry, some of these texts that come through. I'm scared that if they all do finally go after tomorrow, that RTD2 will do such damage before he goes that will make it so incredibly hard for new writers. This is predictive texting for you. It does confuse me. Sorry, I'm from the 70s and 80s and 90s. We didn't know any of this, honestly. Michael, thank you for that. Good to see you. And Smiling is saying to us, he's added to this. It was a fishman. So that wouldn't be Doctor Who then. That would be the Sea Devil thing. A couple of months ago. I don't know what's going on about that then. Maybe it was a remount. I've not heard of anything though. Could be something for a trailer. Find out and let us know, mate. David Shaw, hello, David. My TV is broken down. I get a new one tomorrow for Doctor Who tomorrow evening. David, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're going to enjoy it tomorrow night. Make sure you come see us on Sunday.
You couldn't be that lucky for your TV to break down tomorrow night. That'd be superb. Really would. Yeah. And you'd have to tell me about it.
TVs are so easy to come along to now. I was in Tesco today. Other supermarkets are available, and they've got 55-inch televisions there for fairly cheap these days. They're so easy, and you just plug them in now. When I was a little boy, you wouldn't believe it. You had to wait for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And you had to rent
and
it.
then the man would come round and fix it for you, all that kind of stuff, and tune it up for you, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And the remote control was your dad giving you a clip round the ear and saying, "Go and change it."
Yeah, change the channel. Yeah, exactly.
You were the remote control. Yeah. And Mark Greaves, thank you so much for your super chat. Hi, JT, Ian, and Paul. My friend works at the local View Cinema, and she told me they had sold 3 seats for tomorrow night. Oh, really?
That's more than I thought. 3 seats, that's incredible. Yeah.
3 seats.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that the 3 people that are watching it normally? Is it? Probably, yeah.
Wow. That's gosh. Bedweir is on the case with that, by the way, everybody, as well. He's going to be looking at figures in a future edition of Headlines. So
based on those figures, it'll be dead easy for him.
And the figure was 10. Good night.
What will the 7-day figure be, though? It's still going to be 3, isn't it? But they'll try and boost it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, they will. Yeah.
People don't watch Doctor Who in the cinema the same way as they used to. That doesn't work, does it? Yeah. So.
Why redesign the Sea Devils? They're perfect, says Matthew Burrows. Come and join us when we're looking at these 5 episodes that are coming up. And Dalek Lives Matter. I can't wait to see how low they're going to actually go. And Alfie Jack saying to us, "You naughty thing! It will be one geek buying 3 seats so they can sit on their own." Isn't that naughty? You're terrible.
But they're not social creatures, are they? Let's be honest. Yeah.
No, it's true. Let's move on then to the first story. Thank you. Keep your chats coming, everybody. I'll try and keep up with you in the chats. But we're going to go to our first story now, which is this one, which is from Doctor Who TV. Now, Doctor Who TV, as you will all know, is actually a pretty dedicated part of the internet, isn't it, when it comes to supporting Doctor Who? So I'm always quite interested when things come up on Doctor Who TV. Digby, thank you for your super chat. The difference between 89 and today is incredible. Right now, I just want the series to stop, as it's damaging the chance the series coming back in a decent shape.
Yep.
You can't really disagree with that because, I mean, I think the damage is now done, unfortunately, between Chibnall and RTD. I think it's done because it's
but in 89, I mean, everybody, fans and alike, we're all thinking of ways to bring it back, weren't we? We were all thinking of how it could come back and what form it would be in. And I know Cartmel was still planning things, and he had Ben Aronovich with him, didn't he? Putting some storylines, intros and things like that. And now you're thinking, please stop. I can't think how you can save this. It's, it's really quite a contrast.
I even don't think when McCoy started season 24 people thought that wasn't a great season, but compared to this, it wasn't that bad. Like you were saying, JT, about watching stories that are considered to be clangers, compared to this stuff, they're classics. You know what I mean? It's incredible.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you were with us, Ian, but I said on one of our shows previously, I will never ever slag off Time Flight, Time and the Rani, The Twin Dilemma, or anything like that ever again. I will watch them and shut up when we come to review them, because they are brilliant pieces of television.
We never had it so good. That's all I can say.
That's it.
You know what? I can empathise with that, because when Time and the Rani was first on, and I mean, it was different, wasn't it, with that title sequence and the very, very, very colourful styling of that planet Lacursha and the way the TARDIS landed at the end of that rainbow when it wasn't toxic, but I was watching with interest, but it was when the Rani was going up those stairs and she heard the Doctor recovering, and she came down the stairs and he was lying there with his feet crossed, and he just sat up and did that little spiel and then went the Rani and did that silly pratfall down the stairs. That point was the only time in watching classic Doctor Who that I had my head in my hands, whereas I've had it for 5-6 years now. So Time and the Rani was high drama compared to this.
I'm not gonna. Kirsty's in the chat with us saying Time Lash as well. Yeah, thanks, Kirst. Yeah, I can't argue it. Honestly, when we come to watch these episodes,
don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Noodle Arms, just for the podcast. Noodle Arms was just pointing out even Dimensions in Time is great now. I'm gonna have to say, I'd rather watch Dimensions in Time.
Brilliant. Yeah.
William Orlock saying Curse of Fenric and Ghostlight are masterpieces. I always thought they were, quite frankly, though. And if you don't understand Ghostlight, stay tuned to us here, because one day I'll explain it to you, because it's bloody easy, honestly. And Steve Braddock is saying this, I'm talking to him down there. Clangers, yes, I'd rather watch the Clangers. They're plots that make more sense. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into this story, everybody, and let's see what you think about this one, because this, as I say, is from TV Zone. Doctor Who Wishworld reveals a disturbing trend in RTD's storytelling. Second opinion, take one. So this is from Gustav Baer, who's been looking at the series. Now, this guy is also a fan, everybody. So let's see what he makes of this, shall we? Hang on a minute. Let me just switch our new thingy off there. Let's have a look at that, and we'll come to that in a second. And then we'll go back to this. Here we go. Doctor Who Wishworld, and then intentionally highlights just how far RTD's creative philosophy has curiously shifted since his original run. In The Writer's Tale, RTD famously dismissed dream sequences as empty filler, dramatic deadweight with no lasting consequence. Yet, here we are with an entire episode built around a dreamlike false reality that gets destroyed by the end, leaving little of substance behind. It's a strange contradiction. RTD, once critical of dream logic, now leans into it, asking viewers to emotionally invest in an illusion. That tension between past and present, Russell, is frankly more compelling than much of the episode itself. And yet, the story's biggest issue isn't just that it's an illusion, it's that it piles on even more plot in a season already brimming with unresolved threads. Everything we learn in this episode adds weight to an already overcrowded pot of mysteries that all need to be resolved in next week, i.e. tomorrow's finale, if this arc is going to stick the landing. a feat last season didn't quite manage. At this point, it feels like RTD holds mystery box storytelling in higher regard than tight, elegant setups with satisfying payoffs. Take Omega, for instance. He's supposedly returning, but there's been zero build-up. No hints, no foreshadowing, not even a throwaway reference in decades. You know, Omega, that legendary Doctor Who villain who last showed up over 40 years ago. The one every Disney Plus subscriber could just casually look up in the Doctor Who episode library to get up to speed. Oh, wait. Meanwhile, the Rani has been built up in the most artificial way possible via superfluous cameos by Mrs. Flood since last season. Her identity is only revealed at the end of this season's episode 6. Her plan is dumped on us in a nearly 10-minute exposition dump at the end of episode 7, and the Wish Baby, a key component of her scheme, is introduced in the pre-credit scene of that same episode. And now she seems poised to be sidelined entirely in favor of Omega in the finale. In RTD's defense, it must be incredibly difficult to properly foreshadow your finale when your season only has 6 episodes that aren't the finale. Still, I enjoyed the John Smith storyline Ncuti Gatwa was given in this episode. While it doesn't quite reach the emotional heights of the Series 3 version, that's not a fault of Gatwa's performance. The episode is simply too crammed with plot threads for any single arc to fully breathe. Despite that, Gatwa does an excellent job conveying Smith's growing awareness with the artificial comfort of the Wishworld. He's also put some interesting facts here for you. Times the 15th Doctor has cried, 16 across 17 episodes. And times he's actually saved the day, 3 out of 17. He continues, that said, his scenes with the Rani could have had a far greater emotional punch if the script had restored his memory earlier. As it stands, far too much of their interaction is him repeatedly saying things like, I don't know who you are, or I don't know what you're talking about. Giving the Doctor even a partial recollection would have added extra texture and made those exchanges feel less than the narrative wheel spinning and more like an actual confrontation. I'm sorry, excuse me. Which brings us to this week's MVP. I'm not sure what MVP means. The Rani, especially this latest incarnation, she shines in everything she's in and almost convinces me she didn't just spend 10 minutes exposition her entire plan to the Doctor. Speaking of which, it's one convoluted scheme to say the least. But if I'm following correctly, it boils down to Rani needed Conrad to create the Wishworld so the Doctor would start doubting it because that doubt would destroy the Wishworld, allowing the Rani to bring back Omega for some yet to be revealed reason.
Well, that's all right then. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Also, at some point before the 8th Doctor, he and the Rani danced together while a city was being destroyed. And since this show has a habit of substituting the word sex with dance, is the episode trying to hint that the Doctor and the Rani, anyway, moving on. I didn't enjoy Conrad's inclusion as it felt like a step backward from the already baffling characterization he was given in Lucky Day, in that the episode he was established as antagonistic and ableist, particularly in how he treated Shirley. But his prejudice at least had boundaries. Here, however, his motivations are erratic and seemingly rewritten. Initially, Conrad appeared to be on a crusade to expose UNIT for covering up the existence of aliens, even though he already knew aliens existed. That goal is abruptly dropped, and he morphed into a caricature of a right-wing clout chaser, though the episode never fully commits to this angle or explains what exactly his third act plan entails. Then comes yet another twist. He's just bitter that UNIT didn't hire him, so he partners with the Ranis, the very aliens he supposedly wanted to protect Earth from UNIT, remember? It's incoherent, he says. To make matters worse, Wishworld introduces a sudden streak of homophobia in Conrad that feels completely unearned. While Lucky Day established his intolerance toward disabled individuals, nothing indicated a broader pattern of bigotry. In fact, in this episode alone, he shows no objection to people of colour. He dislikes the Doctor, of course, interracial couples, or women in positions of power. That makes it all the more confusing when one of Belinda's relatives casually mentions that Conrad believes women should stay home and raise children, a detail that contradicts what we've seen on screen. It also feels weird that he would give Kate Stewart, the villain of his story, a position of power. She's a diversity hire in this world, maybe. Good point. The episode delivered arguably the greatest and most horrifying jump scare in all of Doctor Who, waking up next to the insufferable Belinda Chandra. A moment destined to haunt viewers' dreams, if only because it's the only memorable thing Belinda does in the entire episode. Other than snitching on the Doctor, a task any number of the side characters could have accomplished, she contributes nothing. That now marks 4 episodes in a row where this character is either sidelined or completely absent. Half the season, folks, and when she does get screen time, we're treated to scenes like her running off and screaming at the sky. as cringe-inducing as it was unintentionally hilarious. Unfortunately, Belinda's not alone in being wasted. As much as I was excited to Ruby Sund again, her B-plot has absolutely no impact on the main narrative. It has amounted to little more than filler, a side quest that distracted from the core story and squandered time that could have been used to finally develop Belinda into a character with substance. In fact, if you remove Ruby and Shirley's entire subplot, the only real consequence would be Conrad appearing less bigoted, since their involvement mostly serves to highlight his disdain for disabled people, who are otherwise the only group visibly affected in this twisted Wish reality. But of all the characters I actually feel the most sympathy for, Shirley, or rather the actress Ruth Madeley, not just because her character is once again reduced to a prop to showcase someone else's prejudice, but because this isn't even the first time Doctor Who has done this to her. A little while ago, Big Finish ran a multi-box set storyline in which a bigoted scientist targeted a different disabled character played by Ruth Madeley, specifically because of her disability, culminating in, wait for it, a dystopian world where the disabled are erased. That arc was, to put it mildly, not well received, and now here we are again, same actress, same franchise, almost exactly the same storyline. How does this keep happening? What kind of message are we meant to take from this? That disabled characters only exist to be persecuted as shorthand for societal rot? That Ruth Madeley's entire narrative function is to suffer so others can learn empathy? It's lazy, reductive, and frankly insulting. If this is what counts as a representation, then the bar isn't just low, it's buried. And the frustrating part is, we knew you can do better, RTD. We've seen you do better. You didn't just bring back Doctor Who, you pushed boundaries by introducing characters like Jack Harkness and the Torchwood team, unapologetically clear, flawed, and three-dimensional, at a time when LGBTQ++ representation on primetime TV was almost non-existent. You showed millions of viewers what groundbreaking representation can look like, and you helped normalize queerness, homophobic slur, on television. That's why it's so disappointing to see you fall into the traps you once worked so hard to rise above. Big article there, guys, but what did you think of that?
Well, one thing that's interesting, made me laugh though. If Conrad's really annoyed that he wasn't employed by UNIT, why did they not employ him? They employed every other bugger, didn't they, prior to that? So that's the problem, you know. It's like...
Well, everybody else gets a redemption arc, but of course he's got one distinguishing factor that means he gets no redemption arc, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Let's be right. I think MVP is most valuable player.
Oh, so thank you very much. Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, the article in some ways is it's still a little bit too praisey for me, but it highlights a lot of the weaknesses and inconsistencies, so it makes a lot of valid points, to be fair.
And as Wolf said already, and it says in the article, he won't deliver on any of these story threads at all. There'll be no, it won't all be left hanging, which is really lazy and unsatisfying, you know?
Yeah. That's just the way it works, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It is. We've got a few in the chat saying, well, Cody W1 has said, did Millie read the scripts and say F this for a lark? Very possibly. Duncan the Funky Evans, how did any disabled person actually agree to appear in this episode?
Yeah, but the bar being low, the bar is just simply patronizing. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it was just stupid. And again, that whole episode, it's totally forgettable, but you know, it was just boring as well. But it just had all these box ticking elements in it, didn't it? Really, you've got to put this in, you've got to put that. Oh, it's stupid. Problem being is joining us saying, give the author of this article a medal. Dalek Lives Matter wants to know, is Ruth Madeley any relation to Richard Madeley?
I sincerely hope not. Yeah,
I don't know. Cody W1 saying the only person who seems to not like the disabled is RTD.
Yeah.
And his cronies, I would imagine. And Legion of James saying, really impressive article. Finally, people are waking up. Sadly, it's too late.
I am intrigued as well that he does agree with us on Belinda's character being insufferable, because that's been a wasted opportunity for this actress. You know, she's made no impact at all apart from being a complete bitch. You know, so
they could have just invested in Ruby and let her character develop. But it was obviously too much for them because they wanted to change it for their obvious reasons. Shame, really.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have made the series any better, obviously, but it would have been a little bit more consistency.
But it would have changed.
At least Millie established herself a bit more as the character than Barada has, to be honest. You know what I mean? So,
But it would have changed the dynamic of series 2 had the companion and the Doctor crossed, because they would have had a template to build on for Ruby and continue it. But no, he has to go into all this thing that she's got some sort of trauma because she's been traveling around. Big deal. We've got to get over that soap opera element of nonsense there, because look at everybody else. Did Victoria?
Yeah.
You know, did Zoe? I know she had her mind wiped, but did she? Did Sarah Jane? No, she built an entire career on it, didn't she? Really? Yeah. Did the Brigadier, the things he saw? No, because he had a career on it. You know, all these previous companions, they never had all this, and they would have seen worse things. You know, remember that dialogue in School Reunion where Rose and Sarah Jane are trying to outdo each other?
Yeah.
The
Loch Ness Monster.
Seriously. You know, 10,000 billion
You
points.
look at Sarah Jane's first series with the Fourth Doctor. You know, she's picked up like Fay Ray in King Kong by a giant robot and left holding onto a crumbling chimney pot at the top of a building. You know, she's got to climb through ducting, carrying cables, with Wirren trying to get at her, and Wirren grubs crawling after her in arcing space. Then she's fixed to a rock face and tortured by a Sontaran.
Huh?
And then she meets Davros at the dawn of the birth of the Daleks and is tortured by him along with Harry. And then she's nearly killed by poison injected by a Cyberman. You know, that's just
not to mention falling from the scaffolding of the Thal rocket as well. I mean, God's sake,
yeah. And all in one five-story arc, and yet she comes back and goes on for more, and she had more to start with Pertwee, and yet, you know, but then she's that generation that had a spine, isn't she? So.
Yeah.
But this, I mean, it's down to RTD and to an extent Chibnall and Moffat as well to make it real, to set it in real. It's not real. It's science fiction. It shouldn't be set in our world. It should be just, you know, as they used to say for Unit, 5 minutes in the future. You know.
But as I said before, they don't take it seriously enough. That's the problem. It's too self-aware, too wink at the camera.
Exactly.
I mean, all these breaking the fourth wall things, they won't explain that, will they?
Never.
Have you seen the Doctor? Don't tell him you've seen me. All that kind of stuff. Well, there'll be no explanation for that at all, will there?
No.
You know?
And he did say that there was no. He did say he might never ever because he didn't feel the need to. You know, Captain Have Fun is saying to us, "I have a mixed race son. Some weirdos give me a hard time about it. He's adorable according to talent agents, but racists are going to be racist and call him names. He's half Chinese and he looks white." Well,
outrageous.
I don't get it.
Fine,
I don't get that at all. What's wrong with that?
Tiny-minded people. Tiny-minded people.
Yeah, and if he's talented, give him a bloody job. Give him a break.
Yeah.
Did you try to get him into Harry Potter? You know, because all sorts of youngsters were seen for that, weren't they? Really? Did you? Anyway, Captain Have Fun, that's nonsense. And Braveheart, keep it going. Alfie Jack, great review and spot on. Damn, I hate that bloody Q word. Alfie, you're not alone. You know I do as well. It's an insult. But the thing is as well, and Reverend Steve Armoray is with us. Hi, Armoray. Captain Jack is gay or bi. He's not queer. A whole thing about that Q word that they brought in is because they can't say homosexual and they can't say same-sex attractive because that's deemed to be transphobic.
Yeah.
So they can't say that. That's why suddenly they're all saying the queer to be more inclusive, not realizing that they're excluding millions of same-sex attractive men and women who just won't stand for the nonsense. Richard Brooks, PB meddling with journalists is frowned upon these days. Perhaps a medal instead. RTD has to leave. Too many plot holes. He does it all the time. And there's going to be more tomorrow, Lex. He's got an hour and 6 minutes tomorrow to wrap up 2 series worth of plot holes. And he's brought back the Rani in 2 forms. Omega. The Doctor's only just got his memory back, the alleged Doctor. 2 companions. Unit. Mel. Yasmin Finney's character, and God knows who else is turning up in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I remember, Ian, you probably felt the same when they did the Whittaker year. They had all the companions and the TARDIS was crowded, and there wasn't enough story strands to deal with any of that. There wasn't enough time. And Russell keeps bringing characters in. When they did it in Jodie, that was just as bad. It was like you had 4 main characters, or was it 4 main characters, and then they bring in more characters. And they spent more time with the new characters rather than the regulars. It was just like overcrowded, you know. And that's what he's doing as well, don't you think?
They just sit the male regular characters in a corner sucking their thumb, didn't they?
Yeah.
Absolute legit, JT. Not kidding.
No, I don't care. I'm not going to. Having
That
seen
lion, sat Ryan in a corner under a table, sucking his thumb.
I'm not interested. I haven't seen this nonsense over the last couple of years. I'm done with it all. I don't care. That's not Doctor Who either, is it?
No.
Time Saver 93, RIP Doctor Who. They must delete this 8 years in order for Doctor Who to have any future, no matter how long that might be. One advantage, Time Saver, I'm going to say to you is that the brilliant thing about it is that only a small minority of fans remember it, because the British public left ages ago and they won't care. So with the British public, the big trick will be to rest it and then bring it back as Doctor Who, and a Doctor Who that the British public recognise. A crazy guy, although intelligent, an alien, a Time Lord from Gallifrey, in his police box, in his TARDIS, fighting Daleks, Cybermen, and other things like that. But it has to go back to good sci-fi stories, no preaching, because the tide's turning here in the UK, and it has to have basically your monsters.
Yeah.
It's got to have the monsters. That's what people
Back to
got
basics.
Yeah, we've got to have things like the crinoids. Big full-on monsters that the Doctor has to battle. I'm not saying bring back the crinoids. I wouldn't want to see that at all. But proper monsters, men in rubber suits. That's what the kids want. It's what the British public want. It's what they expect from Doctor Who. They don't expect all these marvelous CGI things. And I think one thing that they've just proved over the last 2 years is that it doesn't pull viewers in if you're going all glitzy with spaceships.
No.
That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think about it, everybody. And Fan01ish, reviews like this remind me why Doctor Who magazine hasn't covered any of the episodes after broadcast, hasn't it? I don't think RTD can bear any criticism. That's weird, because in our day, of course, when it was the monthly, you got a review.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Proper one as well.
And then you'd have the season poll, and Wishworld would be at the bottom, I'd imagine, at least, or Rogue would be at the bottom.
Hey,
along
can you
with
imagine?
all the rest of the duties.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you imagine doing a season poll now in Doctor Who magazine? You just say none of them.
Yeah. They're all crap.
Yeah. You'd spoil the thing, wouldn't you? Julianne is saying to us here, is Bitch Linda not the fan favourite? I keep hearing she is. She is a shallow, hollow, forgettable creature, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Quite an unpleasant creature as well.
She just hasn't been developed properly and written properly, and she's just forgettable, instantly forgettable.
Unless there's going to be a twist at the end and she's something different, but that's just so lazy as well, isn't it? She's going to be not what she may seem, which is really lazy.
You've got to expect everything.
Yeah,
everything tomorrow, including the kitchen sink, because that's the way he's going to go with it. I swear to you. Heretic is saying to us, what's annoyed me is Ruth Madeley genuinely loves being in Doctor Who. It's RTD that's wrote her character to be who she is. The fact it was her that stopped Kate killing Conrad shows they are good. Did she? I can't remember.
I don't know. I think Shirley's character is slightly irritating as well. I've really gone off her. I quite liked her originally, but I found her really annoying. Haven't you? Since she came back, she's a bit irritating as well.
I don't like her. Not keen.
I don't either. I didn't like her in the Tennant thing.
No, I find her smug. When she was next to Donna, and she was doing the, it had the male presenting Time Lord bit from that flow, and then Donna's there saying, should have been female because she'd have understood, and she just looks at them with that kind of
smugness,
smirk and smug. You just want to punch her in the face, and that's nothing to do with her being in a wheelchair, because I believe in treating people equally, and if she'd been stood on her feet, I'd have wanted to punch her in the face, so that's equal opportunities, isn't it? She was just smug and unpleasant.
I just thought the whole thing was dumb. I don't like the character. I think you're right with the word smug. I think it's a know-all, and the unit scientific advisors, I think that's what she is, shouldn't be cleverer than the Doctor or think they are.
Yeah, because they're not.
He's the cleverest man in the room. It's as simple as that. He's an alien with thousands of years experience of time travel, and he's seen things that we couldn't possibly imagine. So no, and they shouldn't be cocky with him. They should be in slight reverence of him, because he was the first unit scientific advisor as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't like all the things he did as well, with machine guns in the blooming chair and that ramp in the TARDIS, which has never been used.
Yeah.
No.
The lip on the TARDIS was this big. You can get over it. It's not that much. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Well, as
K9 managed, didn't he?
K9 manager,
yeah. For years and years and years, K9 managed, and all we had to do was use our imagination. There's a wonderful scene in the Rebus operation where the God Lover Mary, as Romana says, "Come on, K9," and then she says bye, and she closes the door.
And the camera pans up to her. Yeah, there's obviously she shut the door. He's still outside. Yeah.
Yeah, she does all that lovely, lovely usual acting of
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. She mistimed it though, because it's not quick enough. But
yeah.
Josh, hello, Josh. Never mind trauma. You'd think an Earth person would be really excited and thrilled about the adventures of traveling with the Doctor. Half of them these days see it as a bit of an inconvenience. That's a good point. And bring back Bill, says Smiling. She was written so well. The difference with Bill is she could have easily been a tick box, but the difference was her whole personality wasn't based around who she fancies like Ncuti.
But
wasn't that the whole point of the first episode?
Yeah, she did keep saying that she was a lesbian every week, though. That was a bit of a box ticking exercise. Yeah.
I honestly don't remember.
Was she?
Yeah, apparently so. Maybe I missed that.
Okay.
Maybe I made that up. I don't know, but yeah.
I have no idea.
We might have to go back to Capaldi's era at some point, because I don't remember that entire series at all, apart from the 3-episode thing, which I thought was a nice idea, but just mishandled.
The one of the monks, yeah, I wasn't that keen on that one, I must admit, but yeah.
It was a nice idea, though.
Yeah.
I think. I can't remember.
I quite like the aliens in it, those kind of creepy mummified creatures. They were quite nice, I like them. But
don't remember
the monks. Yeah.
Hello, wrestling reviewer Daniel. How are you, mate? RTD is an ableist plonker. I'm not your label, Mr. Davis. I'm a 3-dimensional human being, complete with common sense and wicked sense of human and passions. Well, you well said, mate. Well said. Yeah. You're not, are you? No, and he's just in his absolute obsession with trying to represent everybody. He's messed it all up. They all do.
But it's everything he does, you know, is people aren't defined by their disability, their sex, their ethnicity. People are very complicated, 3 or 4 dimensional people. You know, there's lots of things about them. You know what I mean? So it's kind of it's not black and white. You know.
Yeah.
Excellent article, says Stephen Braddock. Speaking sense and putting the boot in. That was Doctor Who TV that did that last article there. So yeah. John's also pointing something out, which I'm not sure if we can read that on the, I don't know. Yeah, includes Sophia and MAP. It's sick. They have said it because it's true. It absolutely true. That's what the plus is. And in parts of Canada, hello, and parts of America, that's come in. And that's frightening. So what are all our hard left lot going to do? The ones that support the TQ cult, when they suddenly realize, can you see them backing down? No. Can you see them making excuses? No, they'll just turn a blind eye like they do to the homophobia, won't they? Honestly, it's make me sick. Jason says, one word best describes Doctor Who. It's melodrama. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
It's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Dark Lives Matter saying Dr. Poppy will save the day.
Yeah, she is the Doctor's daughter. Again, no doubt, yeah.
All those rumours about Poppy and Susan could happen tomorrow. We'll find out. Whole lot of video. Nice to see you. I'd be okay with Billy Piper being the new Doctor with a new writing team, a law reset and script over diversity. It could be good.
If Billy Piper becomes the Doctor, that means they've really jumped the shark. In fact, they've eaten the shark and then crapped out again. You know what I mean? That's how bad it is. Yeah.
If they wanted Billy Piper, they should have done that. Billy Piper or Rose Tyler Saves the Universe or whatever it was going to be, that spin-off that he toyed with at one point in that parallel universe that she went to.
The Big Finish have kind of done since then, yeah.
Have they?
I think they have, yeah.
But, you know, it's... no.
I didn't know that. Mind you, I don't follow Bob Finish at all.
I think it's some of the dimension canon, that thing she used to get through different... from different universes, and I think they've done a couple of box sets about that. I think.
Right. Okay.
As they're prone to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Super chat here, guys.
Well, great, isn't it? That.
Yeah.
Super chat here from Lex.
That's you wanted to see. Yeah.
Thank you, Lex. The finale trailer looks like the Avenger movies. I haven't seen it because I'm not interested, but thank you, Lex, for that one. And Rose Kirby's with us. Hello, Rose. Right, JT, Ian and Paul, I wish you all the best. Big thank you for keeping me informed, and to all in the chat. I hope you enjoyed the season finale. Doctor Who, brilliant and terrific. Thanks, Rose. Am I going to enjoy it? Probably not. I'll be very honest with you, because I haven't enjoyed any of the other episodes. But come back and join us, Rose. Sunday night, come and see us live on the channel here at 8 o'clock. We'll be here with our review of The Reality War. Frankie's saying to us, Omega will be like Elon Musk in a black Omega cap. Probably, because they hate Elon Musk, don't they?
Make antimatter great again.
Yeah. John's with us. RTD has received a lot of criticism from left-wing progressives because of his portrayal of disabled figures. They think that his characterization is only focused on their disability and little else. As the saying goes, as a lot of you have said in the chat, they eat their own.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why you shouldn't try to please everybody all the time, especially these lunatics from the far left, you know, these alleged progressives, i.e. regressives, because you will never ever satisfy their desires, and they wrap themselves up in knots. It's very easy to get them wrapped up in knots as well. As a same-sex man, they can't understand why I will not bend the knee to the TQ cult. So when I tell them, no, because you're supporting homophobia, they panic. And they go, how am I doing that? How? It's so easy to wind them up with truth, because they can't change the truth. No matter how hard they're trying, they are sick people. Honestly, they really are sick. Thank you for that, Arjan. And Talons of Wayne Chiang, it's good to see you. Hope you're enjoying the show. Mark Greaves, thank you for your super chat here. Don't remember any gay characters. Did I drop off?
I think we all did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you not seen the alleged doctor this time round? And Marine Boy 1966, has anyone approached J.K. Rowling to take the show over? I'm just asking, cheeky. She wouldn't touch it with a barge pole.
That's exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
She's got better things right now, isn't she? Yeah. It's Born in 68 is with us as well. Nice to see you, everybody. Robert Payne is saying, I'm waiting until after the TV airing and watching on iPlayer. I will have views after 1915. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, you watch it when you want to. I mean, as I say, yeah, again, it starts at 1850 on BBC One in the cinema, and that exact same time, wherever you are in the world, just your time scale for Disney Plus. It's 1 hour and 6 minutes.
I'm not going to get to see it till after work tomorrow night, so I won't see it till about 10:30 tomorrow night. So that'll be interesting. So I'll be spoiled to death before then. Okay, just by Ian probably, but
I accept your challenge.
Yes, okay. I look forward to that. Yes.
Well, we all know there's something happening in tomorrow's episode. The rumor is it's regeneration, and May the 31st could be regeneration day. There's a lot of speculation today in the press about that. Well, I say a lot. There's a bit of speculation about that in the press today, that tomorrow it's going to be regeneration. Will people come to the show because of it? We'll soon find out when we get the overnight rating. Mark A. Rice is saying to us, guys, RCD is a hypocrite. Well, we know that, don't we, Mark? We agree. The Nigerian episode, the perfect opportunity to address prejudice as a same-sex attracted doctor, lands where it is literally a prisonable offence. Strangely, it wasn't mentioned. Funny that. I still will not. This is why Gatwa is not the doctor for me. The doctor is not sexually attracted to anybody, male or female, of the human race. He's not. Yeah. He's a Time Lord. He's an asexual. He's a Gallifreyan. I can't stand all that crap they've put into this, guys. It really winds me up.
Everything has to be brought down to Earth terms, doesn't it? Yeah. It's just make him like a secondary character from Earth. It just doesn't make sense at all, and it completely dilutes the character.
He's too humanized. That's the thing, and like you said, he's the cleverest man in the room. JT, he's an important figure. You should be in awe of this guy because he's amazing. But people just. He's an alien. Who cares? You know?
Like, Christmas Invasion, you know, where you've got that very sadly short-lived unit commanding officer that was killed on the Sycorax ship. But when he refers to the Doctor, he just goes, "The stuff of legend."
Yeah.
It's like, what? This, yeah.
You've got a very good memory. That's 20 years ago.
It just really has this sense of reverence. You've met the Doctor. Yes, stuff of legend. And now it's just like, oh my good God, you've met the Doctor, you poor sod.
Yeah.
You know, do you need therapy? Do you have trauma? You know.
Yeah.
Did he try to hike it and call you honey? You know.
Did he try cop off with you? And that's what happened. Yeah, they try and pull you in a bar somewhere. Yes.
Did he have to shout?
No, Holly H, thank you so much for your super chat. RTD is a hyperbole machine. But thank you. Nice to see you on the show. Hiya, Holly. And wrestling reviewer Daniel, why do I get the feeling Omega's return will be painful? Because it's going to be. It's as simple as that, Daniel. It's going to be. Whatever he does to him, it's going to ruin him.
All for 500 quid. That's ridiculous. Yeah. So
Yeah.
allegedly.
I don't think they would have got any more than that, to be honest. Yes, says Stevie and Jean Frith. Mark Platt tried to make all Time Lords asexual. The Looms, remember Lungbarrow? I remember Lungbarrow very well, and thinking it was all a bit of a sort of, again, one of these things, typical fan fiction with the kitchen sink thrown in for good measure. But it wasn't Mark Platt who tried to do it. It was done through 26 years of television. There it is. There, the Doctor is not sexual. It was very clear through all 7 incarnations. They had no interest at all.
I wasn't so keen on the Looms idea. I didn't really like that kind of that Lungbarrow was
It didn't make a lot of sense, did it?
No.
It was where Time Lords are woven, but they all lived in houses, didn't they? That were semi-sentient. Which, but then when it was the TV novels and it went on after that, when the BBC novels took over, that's when they made the TARDISes properly sentient, where the TARDISes bred. You had full TARDISes that mated with others and produced, and that was just like, you are talking, writing horse shit now. Seriously. But
that's the problem. And they were trying to add to the legend, and they didn't need to, because the legend was there.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the thing. It got to a point where there was enough information given about the Doctor, was just enough to whet your appetite, and that's all you needed.
And I started to lose all those books because it wasn't going in a way I thought the show should go, to be honest. But there you are. But now with Russell T Davies desperate to make everything canon as part of this whole universe nonsense, it's a matter of time till he gets around to the Virgin novels and the BBC books, and that's where the real problems for him will start, because they don't match up. Stephen Braddock is saying to us, well, I'm not watching tomorrow night. I can't put myself through RTD's mincing machine. That reminds me of Kenny Evans. And I'll watch Who's Views on Sunday instead. Well, you're a man of taste, Stephen Braddock, aren't you? You are a man of taste. And thank you for reminding me of dear Kenny and the mincing machine. Do you remember that? Those legs sticking out.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Alfie's asking, how does the only gay Doctor get to have a child? Totally homophobic. Oh, I don't like the fact that he's been portrayed as gay. Craig is with us saying, will Omega be anti-binary?
Very good.
Oh, that's very good. We like that. Very good. Very good. And Derek Hart saying, since Omega will be young in this, only dangerous if we don't give him. I can't read that, guys. Can any of you make what that means? I don't understand all this texting stuff. It's not coming through properly.
If Omega's young, then the only danger is if they don't give him his dummy.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. God knows how he's going to appear. Born in 68 is saying, with Omega returning, will the lesser-known Tag Heuer make an appearance? Is that a designer?
Brands of watches, aren't they? Omega and Tag Heuer.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be the 3. That's the unholy trinity, isn't it? We've had Casio already, haven't we? So
yeah. Heretic's letting us know through a super chat that he's off to a Queen tribute night. Well, have a good time.
What, tomorrow night instead of Doctor Who? Good idea. Yeah.
Very good idea. But there we go. Dr. Rick saying Baby Omega. Oh God, there's a spin-off. There's a spin-off when it has happened, isn't it? Oh no. Stop giving them ideas, honestly. And Farsight saying to us, JT, Lungbarrow wasn't great, but the earlier novels were. Time's Crucible was excellent. It was, well, I don't know. It was okay. It's been a long time since I'm just looking at them. It's been a long time since I've looked at them.
I liked Time Worm Exodus, the Terrance Dicks one, where
I did as well.
The arc for the War Chief, which didn't mention the Master at all because it was done properly by somebody who knew what he was doing. But that was really, was it Dr. Kriegsleiter they called him in that book? It was really, really good, I thought.
But really Terrance Dicks knew what Doctor Who was. So for him to get to, I mean, he'd been doing original Doctor Who all his career. So this was nothing new for him, was it?
Yeah.
And I think that's probably my favourite, really, of those original 4. And I did enjoy the other one that Terrance did, which was Blood Harvest. Is that right? Blood Harvest? I can't remember. There was a sequel. I can't remember. Goth Opera. No, that's Cornell's. I think it's called Blood Harvest.
That was
Can't
a
see which
sequel
one
to
it was.
Goth Opera, wasn't it? One was a
Yeah.
an adventure, and one was a missing adventure, wasn't it? Or was it?
Yeah, something like that.
remember.
Yeah. But he always did good Doctor Who stuff, didn't he, Uncle
Oh,
Terry?
God.
He knew what he was doing. He
Yeah.
knew what he was doing. So Omega is gay too, says Matthew Burrows. That is another one
Probably,
of the rumours, isn't it? It's another one of the rumours that he is. Let's see. That's just how they're going to do that. That would be so bloody stupid. He's not, honestly, no gay man's going to be interested in a lump of nothing. And Joe Chapman is saying to us here, who'd win in a Lord off between Rani and Missy? I'd say Missy. Who'd win in a Lord? What's a Lord off?
Like a Time Lord face-off.
Oh, okay. Who'd win in
But
a
more of a
Lord off?
lady off, wouldn't it? To be honest, wouldn't it? That sounds a bit rude. To be honest, but
Well, if from my point of view, it's already been done in the Mark of the Rani, and it was the Rani that won. So because she needed the master and then got rid of him very quickly, so that'll do me. I mean, if they're supposed to be the same characters, aren't they? So the Rani will always get. I think the Rani will always get the one up over the master, because all the master wants to do is go mad, be mad, take over the universe, where the Rani just wants to dissect it.
yeah, but the Rani currently is a bit like another female version of the Master, isn't she? At the moment, you know what I mean? It's kind of like they've not really got the character yet. Well, I've not seen it yet, anyway. So it's a bit kind of crazy master, batshit plan, isn't it? Really, to be honest.
Yeah. Mr. Puddles has said, go back and read Nightshade. You're right. That was a good one, actually. I remember that now. That was a good one.
Was that Mark Gatiss, that one, was it?
That's Mark's, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good,
Quite a lot of scenes from that book were set in York, and I recognised the areas. I recognised the areas he was talking about.
Yeah. Gareth's were always quite entertaining as well. And there was another one by
Chelonians were fantastic.
Yeah. Bad Therapy by Matthew I quite enjoyed as well back in the day. That was quite good. Stephen Braddock is saying, my local cinema has only sold half of its seats as of tonight. Oh, really? It's not good.
What's half of the seats? Is it 10? Was it?
Yeah, let us know, Stephen. Yeah. And Matthew's saying to us, adios, Omegas. Yeah, I like that one. Tornado, hello to you. I just don't care about this finale. I'm only interested in the last 5 minutes. That's it. I'm not even interested in that.
If there's a regeneration, maybe they'll get that peak the last 5 minutes and it'll get like 10 million, you know.
Yeah. Time Lord off was what Joe was saying. You were right there, guys. Yes, so that's it. Wow, a lot of you in the chat with us tonight. Thanks for joining us, everybody. It's good to see you all. Yeah, so that was that particular one talking about Wishworld. Okay, so that was Wishworld for you. Now, there has been some Instagram action this week as well from RTD, the guy that, of course, always says he never uses social media, although he actually does. And there was this one. Did you see this one? This is him on the set of the Bone Palace. No puns intended or any jokes there, please, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But here he is saying the Bone Palace, La Palais de Os. Coming this week in the reality war, why that clock? Why the seal of Rassilon? What are the bone beasts for? Saturday, 6:50 on BBC One and Disney Plus worldwide.
By an hour and 6 minutes, JT, you'll still be asking those questions.
I wouldn't doubt it at all.
Yeah.
So there he is from months ago on the set of the Bone Palace, which I assumed in the last episode it was the Rani's TARDIS. Obviously, it's not the Rani's TARDIS. It's something else. But there's so many questions going into this thing tomorrow, isn't there? And as you've just said, Paul, I wouldn't be surprised if we get absolutely no answers, because we're used to RTD's season finale. I used to be very disappointed back in the day because the only season finale I liked was series 1.
Yeah,
because it made a sort of sense, even though it was too rose heavy for me. It was quite exciting as well, that whole last few 20 minutes or whatever of her getting back.
Yeah,
you know, and all that build up and oh my god, blah, blah, blah. But everything else, including into Moffat's time, reset button.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen tomorrow.
It's only way to resolve it, isn't it? Because there's so many things, so many strands that have been opened up, and there's no explanation. I still can't get over the fact that the Rani is so kind of crammed into this. You know, that I don't think Anita Dobson had any idea who she was playing until she got Wishworld. I mean, the Interstellar Song Contest script when she was in that. Apart from that, she had no idea who the Rani was and what she was playing, I reckon.
Yeah.
That would surprise me, because there's no kind of, if you look at the way she's playing it, and look at the way Archie's playing it, it's completely different. There's no indication of. There's only Archie's playing the Rani. She's not. I think. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but you know.
Well, I think there's going to be more coming from Anita Dobson, though.
I think she's been wasted in it as well. She's a great actor, and it's like, what a waste of a really good actress. You know what I mean? Incredible, you know. But
well, let's talk about her in a sec. Shelley Ingalls with us. Nice to see you, Shelley. I wish ED8, that's the 8th Doctor Adventures, should adapt into the TV series like they tried to do with the 90s movie. I always want new stuff, though, Shelley, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Although I would like to see Trevor Baxendale on television, because he's one of my favourite original novelists. I would like to see him. Frankie's reminding us Omega was not the first Time Lord. He was the first person from Gallifrey who perfected time travel that made the people of Gallifrey into Time Lords. We know all that. It was established in time in the Three Doctors. There's been other things about that. They're changing the rules again to suit themselves. And speaking of Omega, Stevie and Jeannie are saying Omega is a big CGI monster, according to the leaks, with a claw. Now, some other people are saying that they're the new Gel Guards.
Oh.
Right.
Dear.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
So we'll soon find out tomorrow. But I have to say, I have a huge thank you to the person that got in touch with me this week anonymously with an email. Thank you very much for getting in touch. Apparently this person, guys, watches the show. And this person has said, hello, I worked on Doctor Who between 2019 and 2022. And there's lots of points here that I need to dissect. But one particular point that I noticed, which we've just talked about, was this one. RTD was just dying to work with Anita Dobson, so cast her as a neighbour in his first Christmas special back without ever having a long-term plan. Yeah. So when you see him teasing Mrs. Flood all the way back in 2023's Unleashed interviews, he was just bullshitting. He had no plan for the character and was content to just eke out the suspense and engagement indefinitely until the first season flopped and heads of departments made him bring her into the storyline to the front. It's why all of her scenes up to Series 2, Episode 6 have felt like afterthoughts or inserts. A lot of the reshoots you have spoken about were to accommodate breadcrumbing and Mrs. Flood and Anita throughout the season.
Well,
yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Can believe that.
I can as well, because it just seems to be very, very obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
But the bizarre thing, I mean, even with her not being the Rani, he's not going to, I know, explain why she does breaking of the fourth wall rather. It's incredible that she doesn't, there's no explanation for that. You know, it's daft, even without the Rani. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's some good stuff in the chat. Bill is saying to us, hello, Bill. I'll find out on Sunday from you guys what happens. I've not watched one story this season, and I'm not going to start now. Well, good for you. Honestly, Bill, you've missed nothing, mate. Honestly, utter nonsense. It really, really is. It's just bad television. Very expensive, bad television. And Matthew Pounder wants to know, is the Bone Palace a gay bar?
It's a great name for one, I have to say. But,
I have to say, yeah.
Yeah.
From back in the day when we were allowed to have gay bars. Yeah. When we're not allowed to have them anymore. They have to be TQ ones. Joe is saying to us, I don't care about the Bone Beasts. What about Poppy, Susan, Rani, By Generation, Tennant's Doctor? I don't care about the frigging clock. How many of these things are you tell us about, though, love?
Yeah. We say about it, don't we, that he's brought Omega back, 2 Ranis and everything else, but Susan as well. You know, we didn't mention Susan earlier, brought her back as well. For what?
We did mention Susan the other night, didn't we? Were you with us, Ian, when we were told about there was something on the internet, wasn't there? I think it was the last show we did, Paul, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's about the idea that they had the idea of continuing Susan's story into season 3, and there's a bit of like a cliffhanger, whatever. She was watching the Doctor and Melinda sort of enigmatically, and that was going to lead into the next series. But that's been rejected because there's no third series. You know,
What a damn shame.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're all mourning that, aren't we? Really. Yeah. This era, says Mark A. Wright, will wrap up with the Doctor being placed in stasis by the Rani like gherkins pickled in a jar. Go on, Paul. Where's that from?
Dimensions in Time. Yes.
You get 5 points out of 5.
Yes. I think everyone could have got that one.
Well, I don't know, because it's only recently that it's been seen out of the UK. Because remember, it was never supposed to be seen again after that Children in Need in '93, was it? It was never supposed to be seen.
All over YouTube. You can see
YouTube.
Versions of it, outtakes from it, extra footage from it. There's about it's an hour of Kate O'Mara and I think Sam West just doing the bits in the TARDIS on YouTube. It's incredible.
Yeah.
If you've got the stamina for it, obviously.
I sometimes wonder what John would think about if he was still here to look at. I think he'd be going mad because that was not part of the original agreements, because these people did all these performances for zilch, for zero, for nothing.
Well, they have to pay for it or at least donate money to children in need, for God's sake. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, would you want to these days? It's a completely different organization now. I wouldn't support this. Gramerson, I love the original Gel Guards. That funny noise they made. They look blooming good on the Weetabix card too, weren't they? Oh yeah.
And the character option versions are amazing. I love that. I don't have them myself, but they look amazing, I have to say.
Oh, they are. They're brilliant. Yeah, they're brilliant. Very good. Craig Dunlop saying here, I don't think depicting Omega as a crustacean is a good idea. Nobody wants crabs.
You were itching to say
that. See what you did there. Matthew Pounder say gel guards need melted jelly beans all over them.
Yeah.
What's this from Shane? Hello, Shane. Shane Borg. Is tomorrow's runtime a regular episode runtime? If so, they have a lot to cover apparently. But it's not. It's 1 hour 6 minutes.
There's about 21 minutes extra or something. Yeah.
He still needed another hour to explain all his nonsense over 2 series, don't forget. And the David Tennant stuff. We've still got Mavity to get explained. Why Whittaker regenerated her clothes when Tennant took over. We all know the real reason. But, what was that about? Who was interfering, if at all, with the regeneration? What is going on? Mark Milford is saying, so RTD is told what to do. Not necessarily, but I think there must have been concern, mustn't there, Mark, over the last couple of years about where the series was going from the people that put money into it. There must have been.
So is the idea then potentially that everything that happened up to this point started on the 60th at the Star Beast from then on, or at the end of Jodie's era, everything's been affected by whoever's controlling whatever's going on, you think? Or is that too exciting? Yeah.
I've no idea, and quite frankly, Paul, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I'm just speculating.
It's a headache to try and work it all out, isn't it? Yeah. Because he's made such a mess. Because he must have done a Chibnall and thought, I've got 5 years now.
Yeah.
And the audience isn't there. The fan base isn't there. It's a minority fan base who are rabid about this thing. The rest of us are just like, let's get through it for the review purposes.
The thing that made me laugh the most was when fans questioned, where's David Tennant when Ncuti's not around? Why is he not there to help? He said, "Oh, the 14th Doctor's dead." Okay, fine. Right.
How stupid is that?
Yeah, I mean that's not thought through at all. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, these people just don't care. The people that have done this version of the series they don't care. There's no love to this series at all. It's just all show by numbers, isn't it? Really, or dot to dot.
Yeah.
I've said it. A decent script editor was really needed to rein him in.
Oh, completely.
Or as you've said, Ian, a decent
power.
It's a new gel guard. They had to claw hands, says Mr. Matt. And hello to welcome to Who's Views to Michaela Mansell. Hi to you. Nice to see you. Problem being, I think people claiming to enjoy this nonsense have an incredible ability to intellectualize stupidity. Ooh. Yeah. And fur babies, bingo. Isabel, hello. Feels like the Bone Palace is a rip-off of Terry Pratchett's Hogfather. Oh.
Yeah, good point.
Again, what a rip-off. What a surprise.
Yeah, but yes. Oh. Everything's just... See what I mean? It's just so unoriginal. And, throw that one in and throw that one in and throw that one in. It's shocking. Paul Schlafter, how not to run Doctor Who, not knowing what a character is or who they're going to be. Could you imagine Barry Letts or Terrence Dicks doing this? That's why the series feels such a mess overall.
Yeah, there's no logic to people's motives in this at all. There's no logic at all.
No, there isn't.
No.
And yet, we've talked about this before, haven't we, guys? Haven't we, Paul?
Yeah.
But right now here in the UK, I was watching The Demons a couple of hours ago and I could follow the story completely because it was a story. You can get from A to B in each episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When did we lose the ability to do that?
Around about 2018.
When the tick boxing came in.
Yes, yeah.
It's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Robert Payne saying to us here, there's no time to give Susan any justified return.
Yeah. Which is a shame for Caroline Ford, really, it really is, because if they're going to bring her back, do something with her that's not controversial.
It's a big ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a waste, isn't it? But again, it's like it was saying in the Doctor Who TV review that we looked at earlier. No build up at all to any of these characters coming through because you've only got 8 episodes a season. So maybe they should have got rid of the Sea Devil thing and added more and done the whole 20-something episodes as Doctor Who.
Yeah.
No, I agree. There's not enough time to do what they've tried to do, you know?
Yeah. No, it's sad, isn't it, really? Marie UK saying the clock set looks like a scene cut from The Sandman. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. I get what you're saying. And Fur Babies again, Pratchett made comments a while ago about the decline of Doctor Who, and I just wondered, did he? Wow. Did he?
Well, it must be a long time ago. So he's been dead for a while, hasn't he? To be honest.
Yeah. But if he said something, he'd noticed.
Yeah,
that's
and he was a massive Who fan as well, because my wife's a massive Terry Pratchett fan, and she's always pointing out references in his books about Doctor Who. You know, and Ben Aronovich's new stuff. He constantly mentions Doctor Who and his novels as well, which is hilarious. You know?
Yeah. What have we got here? Demorpin, it's nice to see you. I was just writing about how Mrs. Flood has clearly been introduced with no plan on teasing a mystery box. Anonymous emailer, please give us more behind the scenes info. Yes, if that person is watching and wants to tell any more, feel free. whosviews1@gmail.com. You know the address, but thank you very much for that, because it's very interesting when we hear from people who have apparently worked on the show. I'm sure there'll be more coming out very shortly, but it's nice that they're finding us as well. Hello. Hello to you lot. I hope you're working. I hope you've got work, because it's not easy out there at the moment. What we got here, Raymond Williams saying to us, hiatus equals RTD sack. The BBC are being kind to us. Stay with us, because when the news breaks, however they tell us, we're going to be here to talk about it, and we want you all to come and join us. And John Roberts, looking at the summary for tomorrow's show, Susan Twist is listed as an actor. Well, is it really? Is she? I've got the cast list for you here as well, with the usual: Gatwa, Setu, Millie Gibson, Archie Punjabi as the Rani, of course, Anita Dobson, as we know, and Jonah Howard King, I hope I'm saying his name right, as Conrad. Winnie Petheridge is played by Sam Lawton. Ruth Madeley is Shirley. Michelle Greenidge is Carla Sunday. Sienna Robin Mavanga Phipps, what a name, is Poppy. Gemma Redgrave is back as Kate. Susan Twist as Susan Triad in my thing there, yeah. Alexander Devrients as Colonel Christopher Ibrahim and the Smurfs. Aidan Cook as the Phalanx. Yasmin Finney as Rose Noble. Bonnie is back as Melanie Bush. They've got to fit Bonnie in as well. They've got to give her airtime. It's ridiculous that they're not. Angela Winter as Cherry Sunday. Stupid names. And Lakshma Chandra is played by Nila Ilia, I think.
So that's Belinda's mum, isn't it? I think, or grandmother. Yeah, one of the two. Yeah.
There you go. So there we go. That's all coming up your way, if you're lucky.
Most exciting, not.
Yeah. Thrilling, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Obviously, all the cameos aren't listed in the credits to give us a surprise. Probably. No surprise, because it's all over the internet, but you know what I mean. But
yeah, I do know what you mean. Yeah. Talking of which, of course, we are heading up to that. So there was that thing from Instagram here, where, as we said, that was him there on the set of the Bone Palace, as he wants to call it. But did you see this? Now we're going to go over to one of our favorite woke papers now, everybody. In the last few months, we've introduced you to 2 particular journalists from the Metro. Both of them are involved in this next piece. So let's pop over to the Woke Metro. For this, from Milo Pope, Doctor Who boss promises finale will address controversial Time Lord change. What on earth could he be talking about? Well, of course, let's get into it. Doctor Who showrunner RTD has promised that the upcoming finale will address the controversial Time Lord change. 2 years ago, fans of the science fiction series were left perplexed after Ncuti Gatwa took over the iconic role from David Tennant in a way that broke away from a long-held Time Lord tradition. The sex education star bi-generated into the 15th Doctor in the 60th anniversary special, The Giggle, drawing heavy criticism from large portions of the Doctor Who fan base. Now, however, ahead of tomorrow's finale, The Reality War, the show's writer, RTD, has reassured fans that the form of regeneration will be explained. After posting a selfie from inside the Bone Palace, which we've just seen, @Varax89 asked him, "There will be an explanation for bi-generation." Russell then replied, "Actually, yes." Responding to the exchange on Instagram, several Reddit users shared their concerns over the potential reveal. Discussing RTD's writing, one said, "Oh no, his explanations don't have a tendency to actually explain too much." Another added, "Whenever 15 leaves, I just really, really hope he regenerates in a normal way. I don't mind bi-generation as a couple of special one-offs, but I really don't want it to be the new normal." Another also wrote, "Having bi-generation for the 14th Doctor is one thing, but saying that everyone did is just nonsense. Why would 10 and 12 struggle so much if they just exist after the regeneration?" This particular person also wrote, "Having bi-generation..." Oh, sorry. No, meanwhile, J. McFox proposed, "It's just going to be the Rani saying she worked out the science behind the myth, so it's possible now." Following the release of season 15's penultimate episode last week, Doctor Who fans are convinced they know what the Rani is up to. She also added, "The tragedy is we were never enemies. Every villain you ever fought wanted death. I only wanted life. Remember?" Gosh, that's good of them to remember the dialogue, because I don't. This wrinkle has left many fans wondering if the Rani might be out to resurrect Gallifrey and the Time Lords instead of the classic laying waste MO we get from most villains. So it looks like tomorrow this might be explained then, this bi-generation thing, because here he is saying that, yes, you're going to get an explanation as to what bi-generation is all about and why it's happened, and not just because he's lazy.
Well, the thing that gets me about bi-generation, apart from that's a really bloody awful idea, is what happens to the Doctor that's been left behind. If they have a normal lifespan, they can't regenerate again, surely. They're now kind of almost humanoid, as it were. They've lost the power to regenerate, so they just have a natural, like a human death, and maybe die as 100 or something, or whatever, or what happens to them, you know what I mean? I know it's not worth thinking about, really, but I just wonder what might happen to the remaining Doctor. You know, it's bizarre. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you say it's not worth thinking about, but I don't think he thought about it to start with, did he?
Yeah.
He just thought, "Oh, I'll do this because I think it's funny and everybody will love it because it's brilliant." And it's not. It's bollocks.
Yeah.
But he wrote it anyway because there's no control.
Yeah. Yeah. No one was going to say no to him.
Yeah.
And they would have thought it was all clever, wouldn't they, bringing in a twist to regeneration? Didn't Moffat say on one of the regenerations, I think it was Smith to Capaldi, it must have been, that he wanted to do something a little bit different with it, so therefore he just did the snap thing, and yet Smith's regeneration took ages, and then he did the snap change, and then he brought Smith back in Capaldi's deep breath, because that had never been done before, because they needed a twist, something fresh on regeneration.
I think that regeneration is referred to by fans as the sneeze regeneration, because it's very, very quick. You know,
right.
It's a waste of opportunity, though. You know, Russell said in one of the Unleashed that he wanted regeneration to be a happy experience, missing the point entirely. The character's dying, and you're grieving for the Doctor you love that's going to pass away, and that's part of the drama. So he doesn't understand it at all, does he? Let's be honest.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, when your favourite Doctor disappeared, it was gut-wrenching. I mean, you know, I was inconsolable when Pertwee left. And then 2 weeks later, I love Tom Baker. It is literally Doctor's dead. God save the Doctor. You know, it's just the way the series continues. But
and in Planet Spiders, that scene with the Doctor and Sarah is beautiful. And Pertwee actually passes away. There's a bit when she stands up and his arm just flops down.
Yeah,
like he's dead, and it's beautifully done. It's lovely. It's really emotional. And it works really well and so memorable.
I mean, she is convinced he's dead, isn't she? Because she says to Cho-Ji, "No, you're wrong. He's dead."
Yeah.
And you're watching it absolutely blubbing.
Yeah.
You know.
And when it happens tomorrow, I won't care less. You know.
Yeah. No.
Well, this is the problem. I don't think anybody's going to be watching anyway from the Notwees. You know. It's just, who cares? Okay. DC Game saying to us, "Isn't there footage of a young Chris Chibnall ticking off JNT for not producing stories with a beginning, middle, and end?" Yes, there is. It's a series called Open Air, which ran back in the late 80s. So, you know, hot kettle black there from him.
Exactly.
Lex, thank you so much for your super chat there. There are some plot holes of Omega. There is a helmet version, Peter Davison version. So, RCT, what are you playing at? I don't know. And we're going to have to wait till tomorrow because, you know, I don't know what he's playing at. I don't know what he's playing at this one. it's all very contrived as far as I can see,
And
very
then some,
tiring.
and then some. Yeah.
Yeah, and as I say, it's just so lazy with what he's doing. Stridey E, is that how you say that? Hello, I'm so glad they left the Daleks alone. Yep.
I really miss the Daleks. I really do.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
Again, we've been saying for a couple of years they're problematic. Ever since he decided to alter Davros, that's where we all knew where this thing was going. You know, we knew then. It was just stupid. And Elvis 77, this will turn into Arc of Infinity copy and paste episode. Anything to go. And Mr. Puzzle, RCD will steal from the 96 movie, and the Eye of Harmony is inside the TARDIS, and Omega has been inside the TARDIS since the Three Doctors. Sorry, I hate to delete what I write.
Could he do that though? Because Sutek had been on the TARDIS, hadn't he, for years? I mean, it's going to get pretty cramped by big enemies, isn't it? Sutek and Omega both holding on to
and
the
maybe
lamp.
bigger on the inside, even. It's not as big as that, let's be honest.
Have we lost JT?
I think he's frozen because either that he's gone very, very quiet.
Hopefully he'll unfreeze. He'll want us to carry on, won't he?
I think, yeah.
But
the Omega thing's interesting though, because like you say, if Omega's going to have been in the TARDIS since the Three Doctors, that's exactly the same storylines having Sutek joining later on after Primers of Mars. It's like there's no originality in that at all. It's simply just a continuation of the same idea, which is really, really poor and lazy, you know.
But that's RTD's method of operation, isn't it? It's what he does now. I mean, we've said it before. There's so many of his episodes are just derivative, going right back to Rose itself, which took it obviously from Spearhead from Space.
Yeah.
But he's most
at least that version was a bit more traditional and a bit more Doctor Who-y, unlike what he's doing now, you know?
Yeah. There was It's I don't know. I just think the sooner this fake thing is over, the better. Because as soon as it's finished, it starts its gap, doesn't it? I mean, I know we've got the Sea Devils, but as soon as it's finished, then we're into that hiatus period, really. And I don't think it'll be this decade. I really don't. I think it needs at least 5 years. I don't want it to be the end. I really don't. But at the same time, I don't want it to come back if it continues from what we've had. And it's not just from Whittaker. It was going down the pan with Capaldi. In some respects, he was too good for it and should probably never have been a doctor, to be quite honest, because it was Moffat was taking it that way, and just Chibnall just picked it up.
I still think it's a big mistake that Moffat was trying to, when he was doing it, to do Sherlock and Doctor Who, you know, because I think that was really, he really divided his loyalties to what show he's working on, and it just diluted what he was doing. And I think Capaldi was an amazing doctor, and he still rose above all the crap he got, you know, and he was wasted in it. And I think he would have been superb. And I wish I got 2 more seasons before they did threw the dice and got Jodie in, because that would have been amazing if he had decent writing, to have a chance to develop it.
He wouldn't have got it with Chibnall, though, would he?
He would have ended up getting the same crap that Jodie got, you know?
Yeah. Now, when JT eventually rejoins us, which I'm sure he's going to, he'll be so far down the chats that he won't find them. So we will say thank you to Mary UK for her super chat. Nobody wants to see a rainbow Dalek. You are not wrong there, Murray.
Yeah.
Honestly, God only knows what they would have done to the Daleks if they brought those back.
Well, I'm surprised you can't buy them. I know they did Daleks in different liveries. I remember the Dapple ones. There was a glittery one of him like that. And
there was, wasn't there? Yeah, Millennium Daleks, weren't there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we've got another super chat from Lex Kane. Thank you for that, Lex. Is JT regenerating? We don't know. He could come back like the Watcher. We don't know.
We'll take our chance who comes on next, and we'll have to find out who they are. Yeah. They may be a bit erratic and eccentric if they have regenerated when they come back as well. Yeah. So
that's the problem with regeneration. You never quite know what you're going to get, do you?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know what happens now, to be quite honest, when this is the first time that I'm aware of that JT's been sucked into a time vortex.
Yeah.
Barusa, isn't it?
It normally it's me. That's what always happened to me. Yeah.
So he's probably making his way through the death zone at the moment as we're just
So we're
chatting away.
technically kind of the test card of whose views as we keep kind of padding it out till he comes back and gives us a prompt.
So, do you want to be the girl with the chalk and I'll be the clown then?
Or we could be, you could be the ball of string, I could be the kitten or something like that. That'd be fine, yeah, that kind of thing, you know.
Well done, you did.
Yeah, so, hello!
You did brilliantly well. Well done. Well done. I'm sorry about that, everybody. For some reason, my internet was cut off. What century am I in again? Remind me.
The 21st.
Well, if only it was the 20th and it was 1989.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, isn't it? But there we go. But well done. I was watching you all. Well done. Millywig's there as well, saying Disney launched a drone strike on JT.
They're trying to censor you, GT. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah,
it is. But no, well done on keeping the conversation going, though. That's brilliant. Never happened before, so I don't know what the hell has happened there. Yeah, I do get the feeling sometimes we're being watched. Listen, there was one thing I did want to show you about that as well, because I did mention it before I was rudely interrupted there, that our favorite Metro journalist, Asiya, wanted to say something, and here it is. Metro's resident Doctor Who expert, Asiya Iftikhar, weighs in on bi-generation. Doctor Who is an ever-evolving show with constant change literally woven into its very fabric, so Whovians often roll with the wild twists, turns, and wacky experiments played out by the showrunners to push the 60-year-old show to its limits, and often past it. Nowhere is that clearer than with the bold concept of bi-generation, which was introduced in the 60th anniversary special, as shown during 14th Doctor David Tennant's regeneration. Instead of the usual complete transformation of one Doctor into the next, bi-generation spliced Ncuti Gatwa's 15th Doctor out of him, so both could exist at one time. Look, there are no boundaries when it comes to sci-fi, especially when it comes to the physiology and life cycle of a fictional alien race with two hearts. But some things feel like they should remain sacred, and the poetic nature of the Doctor's regeneration, saying a final goodbye to one, unless you're David Tennant, and welcoming in another at the beating heart of the series, and the emotional punch is heavily dampened by knowing they end up just pointlessly kicking about while the next Doctor goes on his adventures. Now the concept has been doubled down on with the Rani's bi-generation. I can only hope the whole affair is put to rest with the end of this season as a fun but short-lived experiment. So she's with us again. That's the second time this year.
Yeah.
Yes. She'll be needing tablets soon. Green ones.
I'm still amazed that she actually agrees with us. So good evening to her.
I agree. I hope this is the end of bi-regeneration and it gets resolved. The Doctor, if he does regenerate in this episode tomorrow, he'll just do it normally or whatever, or just end in regeneration energy, and that'll be the end, whatever. Yeah.
It'd be nice.
I still reckon he's going to go, you can't do this to me, babes, and spin round like that, you know, at the end. That'll be it. Yeah.
What if Omega hands him a antimatter recorder and says, this is him getting his own back, hands him an antimatter recorder, and Ncuti just, that's it. And it takes all that previous timeline with him, all of it.
Well, the episode is called The Reality War. Now, bearing in mind that Omega wasn't living in reality and couldn't.
Yeah.
A lot of fan speculation around this week. Have you seen it, guys, as well, by saying, oh, he's going to write it all off? You know, this is
write off what's been before since Capaldi, you mean? Yeah.
Write an awful lot of it off and reset it all.
That's pure wishful thinking, isn't it, to be honest?
Yeah,
I was going to say from some fans, I think that is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Reality War is with us tomorrow. Everybody will say it again. 10 to 7 on BBC One, at the cinema, if you go into various cinemas, and of course on the equivalent times wherever you are in the world on Disney Plus. As usual, I've been down for the final time to my local Tesco coffee shop to actually take all the TV listing magazines off the shelf to have a look and not pay for any of them. Just for you.
Are you sure you're not Scottish? I'm just checking on that. Yeah.
I have to say, yet again, not much coverage considering this was the finale. When you compare, guys, to how it's been in the past, it would have got covers. It could have got several covers back in the day, couldn't it? You know, remember the Stolen Earth got about 3 or 4 different covers, didn't it?
Yeah.
You know, because it was a big cast. And RTD, as we reported the other night, has hinted that he wanted to try and recreate that. All the Doctor's friends getting together again in the last big episode. It's been it's been 2 series of 8 episodes. It's
they've not made enough impact for that. That's the problem.
No, they haven't.
But,
And nobody cares enough for them.
Yeah.
No. I'm still with you.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
Right, so let's go through this then. TV Times, we'll start with TV Times. Global warning, 2-page spread in there with Millie Gibson. Basically, it's an interview with Millie. Yeah. It's not that exciting, though, is it, guys, when you look at it?
No.
Really?
It's just rehash. It's the most dangerous battle the Doctor has faced since the last one.
Yeah.
And the one before that. And it's just the same old bollocks, just with a different photo stuck in.
And it's just wonderful they've had to put Kate Amara in there just to show who the Rani was as well.
Yes.
Well, this one again is just, it is exactly what you're saying there. The 8th and final installment, says TV Times to Millie, is called The Reality War. Can you share any teasers? Millie responds, it's probably the most dangerous battle that the Doctor has faced yet. It's pretty epic. RTD has cooked up an amazing finale, as always. There's heartbreak and loss and a lot of surprises.
Yeah. It's just word salad again, isn't it? Yeah.
It is.
It's the same thing, isn't it? It's the same. Yeah. What did you make of the response to the 4th episode? You had Lucky Day. I was so happy with the reaction. Ruby is like the fans' little sister, and she's never really had a happy ever after. So everyone was like, oh, come on. It was a gut punch and heartbreaking to film. Jonah is nothing like Conrad, you'd be happy to know. We filmed all of the nice Conrad scenes before the big twist, so that was my first time seeing him. I'm bored with that. What else can I tell you about this? It's the usual thing. Do you enjoy working with everybody? Ruby's more independent since she traveled with the Doctor. Will she be more mature in this episode? Yes, basically. There are rumors that we might see the Doctor regenerate in this finale. Have you been following those? I have, but we never give anything away on Doctor Who. We don't want to spoil anything. All I can say is that this episode is amazing.
They never
Everything
say,
Russell's told her to say.
They never say, nah, it's a load of old crap.
They're not going to do that, are they? But that was the TV Times, as I say. It gave 2 pages there. It's also given it this on its pick of the day, of course. That's it there. It gives it 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, really?
Means now, does it really?
Yeah.
Notice the picture as well, everybody. It was the one that they released ages ago, of course, to publicize the series return. Again, what they've done, guys, is I think they've made the mistake again of basically not releasing anything from the press release because they want to keep it secret. And I think that's going to harm the episode because the questions are rubbish. There is no new photographs from it. They've done it on their social media. They've released a couple of things at the beginning of the week. Nothing awe-inspiring at all. There's nothing to make anybody, fan or not, we think, must sit down at 10 to 7 on Saturday night and watch that.
I know the episodes of the previous one, Wishworld, had gone up a little bit from the previous one, but the one before the song contest. So I think that the reaction to that episode last week was the episode was awful. So I reckon there's going to be a drop in viewers next week, definitely tomorrow, definitely because it was so bad.
I do. And it's not going to have that boost, is it?
Yeah.
Well, especially as this is the finale, and as you're going to see here, no real words about it. No, as I can say, nobody cares, including the production team who are no longer there, including the BBC and BBC Studio. They don't care. If this was part of a big plan, it's insane because you've got this other thing coming, the Sea Devil thing on the back of this, and you're trailing it to insanity. That was TV Times. We'll move on to this. Yet again, What's on TV show that Doctor Who is in the hot TV this week. It's in the top left-hand corner there, as you can see. And there it is. It's a very small piece, though. There's an action-packed finale as the Rani enacts a terrifying plan to destroy the fabric of reality. With one of his oldest adversaries threatening the destruction of Earth, can the Doctor, plus Millie and Ruby, save the day? Why would Omega want to destroy Earth?
Yeah.
He wasn't interested in that, really. He was a side character, really, at the beginning, wasn't he? Because he just wanted to exist. He wanted to come back. He wanted to go home. Nice. Yeah. Oh, what a shame. Then he went slightly mad. But what's Earth got to do with this?
They only went to Earth last time because that's where the Doctor was.
Yeah.
There was no other reason whatsoever. His focus was revenge on the Time Lords for abandoning him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Doctor had seen him at that point.
And in the end, he wanted someone to replace him so he could leave. And that was it. You know.
Yeah. And guess who got that job? But I mean, again, I think it's the lack of. We'll say more about this on Sunday's review, but I'm predicting now predictability and lack of imagination from Russell, and just taking another minority fan wish of, oh, it's Omega.
Yeah.
Like I said the other night, because he saw people were talking about the Rani all the time. He saw that people were talking about Omega for the last 15 years.
So someone said in the chat, and that again, this wouldn't surprise me if, because Omega was last seen on TV as Peter Davison incarnation, kind of. It wouldn't surprise me to get Peter Davison back as Omega. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
What with Rice Krispies?
Yeah, because obviously David Tennant is obviously son-in-law of Peter Davison, etc., etc. So that would be an easy way to get him in. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't surprise me.
Anything's possible. We can't ridicule anything. We'll move on to the next one. Doctor Who does make the cover of Total TV Guide. Just a little bit down there in the left-hand corner. Doctor Who season finale. And it's interesting again for a finale. No covers apart from these little tidbits. Okay.
How far have they fallen?
Yeah, exactly, Paul. This was a small article inside the magazine, as you can see here. Okay. I've blown the text up. Look who it's written by, everybody.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, it's Tom.
Oh,
Tom
yeah.
There.
Yeah.
As the Doctor reaches the climax of another series, we're starting to wonder if this really will be his final battle. RTD has cooked up a storm, promises Millie Gibson, who plays Ruby Sunday. It's probably the most dangerous battle the Doctor has ever faced, and the fact that this is the big showdown is really exciting. In Saturday's 70-minute finale, The Reality War, not only is the Doctor facing a twin threat from two versions of the Rani, but
hold on, stop you a second. You said 70 minutes. Is it? They need more stuff, have they?
Well,
it's got up by 4 minutes.
That's what I was originally told. It was 70 minutes. So maybe they pruned it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Oh, you know what I mean? Just they've got
just
back in the edit.
It by another 63 minutes. It'll be bang on, wouldn't it?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. It carries on there as well. Of course, it talks about Ulfo, Omega. RTD likes to add things into the script that only the real fans will spot and love, but there's none of us left, darling. When I first found out what was happening for the finale, I went and watched old clips of the Rani. And then she says, Anita Dobson plays evil so deliciously. It's genius how she breaks the fourth wall. And oh my gosh, Archie is so cool. There's a very big scene that took 2 or 3 days to film, and I was very lucky to watch her magic. She has a presence that is almost like the Rani, a bit intimidating, but she's so beautiful and so calm. I loved being a part of that. It was like seeing Doctor Who history in front of me. As this series concludes, the BBC is yet to confirm any further episodes, so we may be in for a long wait before the TARDIS rematerializes. However, given how the finale not only features Bonnie Langford and Carol Ann Ford, who's to say that Millie won't return as Ruby in decades to come? Yes, she beams. I really hope that happens. That would be a bit of a full circle moment for me. When I first met Bonnie, we had such a special conversation. Every time she's on set, I think it's going to be a special day because Bonnie's energy is going to get me through. She's brilliant and she is a badass in this finale. I love her. So yes, I hope that Doctor Who will still be going when I'm 60 because it's so special. There's nothing else like it. And then I can come back just like Bonnie.
So she's just basically said Bonnie Langford's 60, isn't she? And I thought ladies didn't talk about their ages.
That's all changed, hasn't it, with the new generations?
Yeah.
I don't. So they're very optimistic that they can come back in 60 years because nobody knows this. I mean, this is the equivalent of 1989.
Yeah.
You know, it is the equivalent, I think.
Having said that, though, you would have thought in 1987 that Bonnie would be back now in 2025, would you, to be honest?
No, you would not.
So,
Well, in our day, we'd never have thought any of them would be back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it took me years to get over the fact that Sarah was never coming back. You know.
Yeah.
Michaela saying to us, Michaela Mansell, I will be watching Vincent and the Doctor instead. I just love Matt Smith. Matt Smith.
Yeah. Sublime.
We didn't know we had it so good, did we? What an actor. What an actor he is as well. I really like Matt Smith. What a cracking actor he is. I might not agree with his political opinions, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But what a cracking actor that man is.
He's an actor, for God's sake, as well. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And the fact that you can guess a character and interpret it. I mean, a
Yeah.
mate of mine went to see that Enemy of the State. He did. He managed to get tickets for that thing in London. And he
Wow.
came out, my friend came out to it going, he was exhausted because of Smith's performance. He said it was absolutely, you watched him all the way through this hours-long performance, and it went so quickly because Smith, he must have worked bloody hard.
Yeah.
What an actor. What an actor. And Mysterious, hello to you, Mysterious. Ooh. Rumors say that Billy Piper is coming back to play the new Doctor. Is this true? Well, we will tell you on Sunday.
I hope they do not do that for real.
There is no new Doctor, though, is there?
There, but that's just a really bizarre thing to do. You know, it's just awful. It's not even a good idea. You know what I mean?
No, it's a terrible idea.
What if they did? What if they did? They regenerate Gatwa into Billy Piper, and then say, right, she's the Doctor, and we're resting the series for 5 or 10 years, and then in 2035 they say, right, Billy, are you coming back? Like, bugger off.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Do it. They could do it. I mean, you don't have to pick up where they leave off. If this thing is going off the air and somebody new hopefully comes in with a breath of fresh air, gets it back to being Doctor Who, I wouldn't pick up where they left off, would you?
Yeah.
No.
I wouldn't dream of it. I'd just reboot it all myself and just say, right, this is where we're going. Here's the Doctor. Get on with this.
I mean, as much as I thought Billy Piper was great as Rose, she's not Doctor material. She's really not.
No, she's not. She's not at all.
No. And it's about time that, no offense, Billy, I love you. It's about time you left Doctor Who back. You've got a nice little career. Oh, you had a nice little career going on there. Go on, you know. Go and find something else, because she's very capable of doing some other stuff, isn't she?
Yes, yeah.
Benign Crinod is saying they'll do it because they want to.
Yeah.
We see what you did there, by the way. I bet she hates that now. I bet she hates that, honestly. Captain Have Fun saying to us, why couldn't there have been Time Lords in TARDISes that weren't in the Time War? Plus, Type 70 TARDIS can go to alternate realities, unlike the Type 4. Oh, now you're getting into geek time now, Captain Have Fun, aren't you? Oh, you're taking us into the real serious geek stuff. You're going to love some of the stuff we've got coming up for you then over the next year, honestly. And Julianne, hello, Julianne, she's saying that to us. I don't want the series to end with Gatwa as the place marker. Fur Baby saying to us, none of it means anything anymore. And Sliver Wolf is saying, definitely not Doctor material, Billy Piper.
Yeah.
We're up to TV and Satellite Week. As you can see, Doctor Who makes a little bit of a cover up there on the left. Will the Time Lord be regenerating in the thrilling finale? Now, bearing in mind that these people haven't seen the episode either.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious that
Do you notice the pictures are getting smaller and smaller, though, every time you show a different magazine?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I certainly, I'm probably wrong, guys, but I think they've noticed that the series has gone down and down and down over the series, over the 7 weeks, and they've thought, oh, nobody's watching it anyway. We'll just do the token, keep them happy.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Well, why waste column inches on it?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm thinking, Ian, if this thing had been huge, I think it would have got the blooming covers. Look who's on the cover of TV and Satellite Week.
Yeah.
How the Boss Fell in Love with Britain, Bruce Springsteen. What? It's even a picture from the 80s, for crying out loud. If this series had been huge, it would have been Gatwa and Archie and God knows who else on the cover of this thing. Special photo shoot for the Radio Times. But this is the TV and Satellite Week. Let's look inside. That's it.
That same photo again. It looks like they're walking across a pizza, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
It's not inspiring. It doesn't speak of a particular story. It's just same old trotted out. It's dull.
Yeah. It's the same story as well. Although on this one, it does notice the fact here, look, that Piper and Tennant are back to record the thing. It says there, meanwhile, ex-Doctor Who stars Tennant and Whittaker and Piper celebrate 20 years since the show was revived in Doctor Who Unleashed, Saturday 8 p.m. BBC 3, with contributions from the current cast and showrunner Russell T Davies. Now, this is where it gets me thinking, did some eager fans feel that Billy returning to that was the main show?
Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because these things can happen, can't they? We all know this.
Yeah, crossed wires. Yeah.
Yeah. Could be Crosswell. Bundy 4077 saying to us, unless they do what they did with the second Doctor and the 15th picks what he looks like, he wouldn't be able to do that. He can decide what he bloody was, up or down, right or wrong, backwards or forwards, blue or green. Maybe the TARDIS flies away, leaving the Doctor, says Lex for a super chat. Is it strange that the TARDIS hasn't been seen? The Rani actually said last week where she, what did she say? I can't remember the exact word, but something about you don't even know where your TARDIS is. Unless the Bone Palace is the TARDIS. And she's changed the chameleon circuit. She knows how to.
I did think that shot from Wishworld, you remember with the Sonic and the big doors shut when she did it, were very TARDIS-like doors, I thought, the originals.
From the old days.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. Anything can happen.
That couldn't be the TARDIS doors, though, could it? Because they blew up, apparently.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll be explained. Probably not. Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not, to be honest. I was waiting for it to be explained last week and it didn't come along. And I only know because you lot told me.
Yeah.
Gav B is saying, will the final shot of Gatwa be him touching grass? That would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the grass that gets him. Maybe he gets a real shock of hay fever. And he
regenerates from that, yeah.
Yes, he goes, I flew. Oh, I've got a new face. Oh my God,
my money's still on dehydration the way he goes.
From other tears. And Marie UK, hello, lovely. Thank you so much for your super chat. I agree with you, JT. Doctor Who should be the cleverest man in the room, like a sci-fi Sherlock Holmes with no romance.
Yeah,
that's what makes us Doctor Who fans. That's why Doctor Who, the original 26-year run, which these people do not understand and should do, because some of the high ups are fans, Marie, was so inclusive.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing to do with gender or sex or sexual attraction or anything. And that's why everybody could watch it. No politics. It was everybody was in it. And that's why it was such a success and why it's so treasured, because you can watch it today and it still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas this nonsense that's been produced over the last 6, 7, 8 years, that's not going to be able to be watched in 5 years, never mind in 50. That honestly, it will not be watched because it's so set now. Yeah. I mean, I'm imagining from you guys' point, from what you've told me, I would imagine the Whittaker era is already careering out of date.
I think there's that, and also there's no rewatchability. I mean, I've no desire to watch any of this stuff again. And I know I've been slagged off on watching the one episode twice, but I don't have any desire to want to watch it at all, What was that, Ian?
Justifiably slagged off as well. How dare
of course,
you?
Yes.
I'm still outraged.
Yeah. Joe saying to us, that's why Doctor Accessible, no politics, no sexuality, open to all. Exactly, Joe. Yeah. Exactly. And it's such a shame. Frankie Stanager is saying the football is on tomorrow night. I thought that had all finished.
No, there's still 1 or 2 dregs of games to play. But of course, that BGT final, does that clash with the episode?
Yeah.
For timings?
Yeah.
They are so buggered, aren't they?
Really? They are.
And it's live. It's live.
Yeah, it's live, and that's when people watch it. Yeah.
Even better. Even better.
Gav's also reminding us that he's going to finish reading the Gallifrey Chronicles tomorrow, which is a book that I'm glad he told me, guys. This was a book that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, if you remember, on the show. Yeah. And he found it on eBay and he bought it. And he got back in touch today. I really enjoy it. I'm so glad he did because I was worried. This is not the novel, by the way. This is the John Peel book about the history of the Time Lords.
Yeah.
Which actually should be. Yes. And it's the one that I lived by for years during from when it was published to when it came out. That's why I don't believe TARDISes were grown. That's why I don't believe in bi-generation. That's why I don't believe in sexual Time Lords. It's all in that book. That should become part of a Bible for anybody in the future.
Yeah.
Really. And Mysterious is saying to us, the best Doctor Who was the 9th Doctor, Christopher Eccleston. Thank you for that, Mysterious. I hope you're going to stay with us as well as you as we go through looking at some of the other Doctors as well. It'd be great to hear what you think about it. Coming up soon on this channel, we're going to be reviewing The Sea Devils with Pertwee and Battlefield with McCoy. It's all coming up very shortly for you, to stay with us. There was one other piece of TV Listings magazine, of course. It was the Radio Times. And yet again, nothing. That's it.
Oh, well, there's a picture of McCoy and the Rani. That's lovely.
That's quite nice, though, isn't it?
That's quite nice. Yeah.
This is part of this article, as you can see there, guys, where they've started counting down 20 great dramas to binge right now. Now, Doctor Who crawls in at 16.
Dear.
Wow.
And they're talking about the finale.
Why is there a picture of Spock there?
Because they're talking about Star Trek at 20.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Andor is in there at 17. But this is Doctor Who, the finale, and it crawls in at 16. It should be number 1 in the Radio Times to binge watch, but because it's this version, it's not going to get binge watched, is it? It's 16. That's terrible, I think. 16 out of 20.
That's poor.
Far better things. Oh, they also include this on the Saturday page itself. Last year's revelation of Sutek being the big bad may have sent younger fans in search of the celebrated pyramids of Mars. If they did, consider that a job well done, RTD. But this year's double surprise of the Rani and Omega masterminding a wicked plot is more fraught with risk, especially if kids now stumble across their past appearances in such misfires as Time and the Rani and Arc of Infinity. With neither serial spotlighting the classic series at its finest, all we can hope is that no one is dissuaded from returning for this finale, which sees the Doctor risking all he holds dear.
Well, not returning to this finale has got nothing to do with those 2 stories, is it? Let's be honest.
And that's quite insulting, really, because this dirge wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those stories.
Yeah. I'd rather watch Arc of Infinity and Time and the Rani, as I've said, now more than anything I've watched in the last 2 years. 2 and a bit years, if you include the 2023 nonsense.
Yeah.
So just remind me of that when we come to review them. As I sit down again and go, ooh. But no, honestly, my Doctor Who's better. Yabu to the rest of you. Graham is saying to me in the chat, me too, JT. Yeah. And Duncan the Funky Evans saying, misfires, lovely promotion. Julianne has been ill over the thought of binge watching RTD2 Who. But yeah, that's the Radio Times as well. That wasn't a sell, was it?
Yeah,
that wasn't a sell at all.
They used to, I remember when the new stuff came back and they tried not to diss classic Who. They tried to kind of support it, you know, and now they're going the other way around. It's really daft. It's not selling your product well. It's like slagging your product off. It's not very good. Don't watch it. That's bad business sense, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, terrible. I mean, stop doing the Whoniverse then.
Yeah.
You know, just stop doing it. I only realised today when I was getting stuff out of boxes and putting them back on shelves, there was a hardback book a few years back called the Whoniverse, wasn't there? So that's probably where they got the wording from. But if they like taking the mick out of what actually went and built this legend in the first place, don't do the Whoniverse.
Correct.
Just concentrate on this lot. Let it stand on its own. But we know it won't because it relies on the classic stuff.
Yeah. To be honest, though, Ian, this whole term of the Whoniverse has been around for quite a while. And Russell would have known that. So for Bad Wolf to go and trademark it was a bit naughty because it was a fan term. And it's one reason why this channel won't use it.
Well, it's everything. It's everything that RTD is, isn't it? It's appropriation of other people's stuff.
Yeah.
But as we said, it's so Disney, so Tinkerbell, you know, with the Disney World thing, you know, like that.
In the sting
like
to it.
Yeah.
The thing in the
TARDIS
background.
going wee all the way around. Yeah.
Legion of James saying to us here, how dare they refer to those stories as misfires when this current era is an abomination? We've got Tarlet Lives Matter saying to us, Formula One is on Channel 4 at 7 o'clock. I wonder if people clicking over just during adverts counts in ratings. Don't forget, Bedouin will be back with us next week for his ratings update. So join us for that. Stephen Genie, Time in the Rani is underrated. I love the Tetraps. I can't wait to actually go back and watch it now, I have to say.
Very good visual effects as well. Those orbs that captured people in were really well done.
Yeah, really well done. Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet on the season 24 box set. Did they CGI them?
No, they don't. They've touched them at all the same as they were on original broadcast, which was really good at the time. Yeah,
good. Yeah, because they didn't need to be done really, because that was early CGI for you whippersnappers out there. But at the time in 1987, even we were looking at it going, that looks good.
Yeah.
Even when in the first episode, and the Doctor looks on the scanner to find out what the Rani's on about, and he sees the dark matter asteroid or strange matter asteroid, that looks really good.
Yes. Yeah.
All the effects with the model of the Rani's base and stuff is all done really well as well, don't you think? A lot of good model effects.
The rocket taking off. Yeah.
It did look good at the time, and there was a sense of fresh air coming in with this.
Yeah.
It was just a bit too. We'll deal with this if and when we ever look at Time of the Rani. It was just a bit too camp for me. It was just a bit too much. Oh my God. But anyway, Mysterious back with the saying, just imagine to see the new master. Here is a twist. Matt Smith as the master. That would be awesome. It could happen though, now that the Time Lords can take each other's previous bodies or whatever. But Matt Smith is a fabulous villain. Did you see that thing? What was it? Weekend in Soho or something called? Can you remember, guys, what that film was?
I've not seen that. No.
Great film. Go and look it up with Matt Smith. It's something in Soho.
Yes. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I've seen that. Yeah,
Quite
very
spooky.
good.
Lovely twist in it as well. Go and watch that. It's amazing. It's a bit of time travel, bit of horror, bit of thriller, and he's brilliant in it. Great. What a powerful performance. I love him. I think what a great
enjoy it.
Peter Venkman fansite is saying, oh, so it's bashing fans. And Graham Lamphere. Nice to see you, Graham. It's just so soulless. I have no attachment to anyone. I have no interest in buying the merchandise.
Yeah.
Graham, you're amongst friends here on Who's Views, because neither do we. And the merchandise at the moment, Graham, as well. What a load of old tat.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Let's face it. Even character options haven't come out with anything yet. Stay with us on the channel, because you never know where that might go. Lots of you are here as well. Thank you so much for joining us all tonight with this. The Benign Crinoid is saying to us, Tetrops are so snuggly, but they're great at French kissing. Ugh.
Well, that bit where the Tetrap's tongue comes out and it kind of like does that to Mel's a bit suspect, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So, like a hickey on the neck, It's like...
Yeah. I just hope that there is. You are, sorry?
She went rigid, didn't she? She was just like,
she did, yeah.
I just hope there is a scene.
But I wasn't going to.
I just hope there is a scene between Bonnie and Archie tomorrow, i.e. the Mel and the Rani. I would love that to happen because, I reckon there will, because there was that moment in Stolen Earth between Davros and Sarah.
Yeah.
And he repeats himself.
Yeah.
But
so I reckon
to be fair, it's not going to have the same impact, is it? Because that was really well done. Julian Bleach's Davros was superb, and Liz Sladen was always superb. Watched really well, but this is not. Doesn't have the same gravitas. Their encounter's not the same as Davros and Sarah, is it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Driftport Entertainment, nice to see you. Would definitely watch classic 80s Who over today. And Yokai 63, Time in the Rani is mad but fun. Anything feature a Wanda Ventum gets my vote. Well, quite right too, because she's brilliant, wasn't she? She was just brilliant in that one. And Virtual Baz saying to us, I've said it before, we need the Peter Glazebrook Crackerjack clip of him shouting, no, it's not Doctor Who. Anybody outside the UK will not understand that reference, and we haven't got time now to talk about it. So you'll have to stay with us. Listen, that's it. Thank you so much for being with us for this. It's tomorrow, everybody, as you know. If you're watching it, oh God, just see how it goes and be prepared for a cannon ripping more. Oh, I don't know. Just be prepared. Have a drink.
RPD's always ripping his cannon, isn't he? He thinks he's clever. He's not.
Oh God. But yeah, Crackerjack, everyone.
Crackerjack.
Yes, that's for another show. We'll tell you about that another time. For everybody that's been in the chat for us tonight, thank you so much for joining us. If you are going to the pictures to see this thing tomorrow, have a good time. You've paid for the tickets. Have a good time and let us know what it was like. whosviews1@gmail.com. It would be good to hear who was in the audience with you. I don't mean names. How many were in the audience with you? Did you all love it? What you thought of the episode? What was the atmosphere? Was the cinema clean? And what were the prices of the popcorn? Send it all to me. whosviews1@gmail.com.
If the chairs are comfy, it'd be a good place for a kip, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Well, don't forget they're watching Wishworld before it.
Well, I'd have a snooze for that one then. Yeah.
Wishworld and that. So if you're watching it at the cinema, fantastic. If you're just going to sit at home and watch it there, don't forget it's on the iPlayer after it's broadcast, because something big, allegedly, happens in tomorrow's episode. We will be here, as usual, at 8 o'clock live on the channel, internet connections permitting, to talk about it with all our reviews. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see how this thing ends. If you're not doing anything at 6 o'clock, come and join me live at 6 on Sunday as well. I'm going to be talking about some other stuff there as well. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you aren't new to the channel and you've been with us for a while, please just make sure that you are still subscribed. Until Sunday, when we will be back to look at the reality war. Look after yourselves. Oh, here we go. Here we go, everyone. Ta-ra, everyone. We will see you shortly. Take care.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Good luck.
Bye. Enjoy.
Christmas duty coming up.